Hey, hello, hello. I wonder if you can hear me. You're gonna have to let me know how the sound is and if you can hear me. Let's see. Come over here into the chat. Happy New Year, guys. Happy holidays. My gosh, can you guys believe it is 2024 yet? To let me. That is crazy. Hi, Cheetah's Cooking. Welcome. Hey, Jana Calendrell. Hi. And Maria Vam. Kylie. Hello. So great to have you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You can hear just fine, Cheetahs. Thank you. Really appreciate that. How's everybody's 2024 going so far? We're hours in. But I'm curious how it's going. How did you guys spend your New Year's? What did you do? Did you cook? Did you sleep? Did you go out with friends? Did you meditate? Did you party? Were you with family? Did you journal? Did you vision board? How did you guys pass your New Year's? Hey, Jenna Rose, how are you? Welcome, guys. I'm going to grab the reading information for us, and then we can dive in. Tell me how y'all passed your New Year's, what went on. How was your full moon on December 26th? I think it was a full moon in Cancer. How was that? And we'll just put this over here. Let me make sure that link works for you guys. Hey, hello, hello. It's me. Okay. Hey, Hope, Love, and Sunshine. Celebrated your dad's birthday. Oh, your dad's a Capricorn. I love that. Okay. Okay, yes, that link will work. Let me put it here. And copy, come back to our chat. Welcome in, everybody. Okay, that's how you make payment. If you want to join and get on the list, you can. Actually, let me separate that so that that link actually works for you. That should work. No, it did not. Hang on, let me try one more time to get that hyperlink to work. There. No? Hmm. Let me see what I need to do to get my link to work for you guys. This is the link right there. Switch account. I'm in the right account. I think. It might not be working because I'm not in the right account. Let's try that again. Here we go. Space here. There you go. So yes, it's 3333, and all you need to do is go into that PayPal link. TB says it worked for her. Okay, great. go into that PayPal link and make your payment, and I'll add you to the list and we'll get started in just a second. So let me pin this comment for you guys. Pin it. There we go. Okay. Thank you everyone for being here. So just gonna see. Thank you, Kylie. Really appreciate it. Such an awesome moderator. Cheetah's Cooking says so far it's pretty good. She's feeling very optimistic. Good. John is rocking it so far. Sunday, hello. Spent with her son's family and her grandson. That's so nice. He spent time purging his room. He's 8. Aw, I love that. Okay. Nice. I'm happy. Levi's taking your astrology course. I did notice. I'm really happy he's there. We're preparing for a baby in April. Jenna, congratulations. Oh my gosh, I am so excited for you two. Yes, this is wonderful news. Congratulations. Awesome. And Sarah has been feeling the need for rest and recuperation. Girl, same. The same. Okay. Pallavi says the link worked. Okay, good. Thank you guys for confirming. All right, let me go ahead and pull up the list and let you guys know what order we're going to work in today. And if you're just joining, welcome. This is what we do on live mini readings. We hang out, we chat. I may ask you guys how you're experiencing certain energies. I read. Each reading is roughly about 5 minutes. I set a timer so that I don't go too far. And then I go and read for the next person. So the only payment method available at this time is going to be PayPal. Readings are $33.33, and we go in the order paid. So first person up is Talene. Thank you, Talene B. Then we have Rashita. I think that's Sheeta's Cooking. Rashita P. Then after that, Sarah W. And then we'll have Amal M. Okay. So welcome in. Talene, if you want to go ahead and drop your questions and your birth details, give me your birth details first. That would be ideal. Kylie's posted the best way to do it for me. That would be great. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Sheeta's Cooking. Great to have you here. Awesome. Okay. Cool. So Talene will be up first. And so what you want to do, Rashita, I think this is my first time reading for you, Rashita. What you want to do, you see how TB here typed out what she needed? She gave me her birth details first, and then she gave me her question. Try to be specific. General questions can really get like general answers. And if you really want to know about something like love, or you really need to know about money, or you need to know about a move, don't hope I'll pick up on it, because there may be something else that stands out to me. So if you want to know about something, then the best thing you can do is to just like lay it out for me. Okay. I'll put your birth details in like I'm doing now. So we're talking about Canada. We're talking about Quebec. We're talking about May 7, 1985. And we are talking about 10:51 a.m. So in the past, if you've been with me and we've done this before, you'll recognize that I have, in the past read for people, like other people who aren't here. Like I've looked at your partner's chart or your counterpart's chart. I am taking a break from that at this time and only going to read your chart. So feel free to share with me your information. And Cheetah says it's all ready to go. Cool. So when I call your name, Cheetah, you're going to want to paste it. Okay. After Cheetah, we have Sarah and Amal. Let me go ahead and set the timer and we'll be off to the races. Cool. All right. So Celine says, what's 2024 looking like in general? What are the strongest energies I can work with or anything that stands out? Okay, sure. It's very general, and that's okay. Just know that it is going to get a very general response. Um, okay. One of the things that stands out is that as we get into Gemini season, your money's going to start to look really good. I do see that like right around the time of your birthday, like right after your birthday, anything you've been trying to manifest financially and in terms of your money, like that's going to start to open up for you and give you, you're going to start to see some movement around that in some ways you may not have before. So that's really exciting. You're also going to start to see that um, if there's things that you've been working on in terms of like goals or hopes or wishes or dreams, those things are going to start to come to fruition in a really positive way. We've got Jupiter, we've got Venus, we've got the Sun in your 11th house of wish fulfillment, the second position from your Sun. Whatever house that is always related to your money. It also looks like you're going to be feeling really good in terms of your self-esteem. I also see some new friends, some new colleagues, some new people going to come in and really help you facilitate a significant like up level. So if you have been like trying to like you've been one of these people who have like maybe shed a lot of friends in the last couple of years, I know a lot of people are moving through some changes. In my guidance, I've been shown we're all being chessboarded across life's chessboard. We're all being moved across life's chessboard. So if you're one of these people who like shed some people and you've been in this holding place and you're waiting for new folks to come in, they're coming. And next year, you're really going to see it. You're going to see the new people. You're going to hear them. Like you'll meet them. It looks like they come in very socially for you. Like any invitations you receive next year, I would strongly recommend you say yes. Just take them. Go wherever it is that you feel guided to go in terms of like travel or short trips that are kind of like weekend kind of stays or like friends invite you to be with their family for a weekend. Maybe some cousins or neighbors get in touch and like, oh yeah, we're having a get together. Just say yes. Because next year, the cast of characters that's going to support you through this next chapter of your life in business and money and career, those people are supposed to come in. So it's very much a social year for you. Just going to be really nice, especially in this kind of post pandemic moment. It also looks like for you, there's going to be a level of change when it comes to some career stuff. I do see some healing in your career sector with the Chiron North Node conjunction, some healing to your confidence, some transformation in the first 4 months of next year around like kind of looking at, well, the world says I can't do X, Y, or Z, but I really want to do it. It looks like you're going to just have to go for it, whether or not, the world agrees with your ability to get it. So you're just going to have to dive in. And in doing that, it looks like it builds confidence. It builds momentum. Your leadership really starts to show. It gives you an opportunity to stand out and shine for your uniqueness. So it's going to be a really positive year for you in terms of work, money, friendships, colleagues. It's a foundation laying year. Love is going to come. It does look like it shows up. It's not like it's a bad time for love. It's just that the minute you start to focus on love stuff, like career stuff continues to take off and grow and build, and friends are like, come on, like we need you, like we're gonna hang out, the really good stuff is like popping off and you're supposed to be a part of it. This up level is going to set the stage for some bigger things to come in love down the road. But it, say yes to every invitation is the best thing that I can tell you as you get into 2024. Awesome stuff, Celine. Really great news. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. Rashita, it is your turn. We're going to read for Rashita next. And then Sarah W., you are after. So we're going to set up for Rashita now, and then we will do Sarah W. Okay. So Sarah W., please get your question ready. Don't paste it yet. Don't tell me yet. Just let me make sure I note that. Just get it ready to paste for when it's your turn. Okay. So Um, added to the list is Amanda and Pallavi. Welcome. Great to have you too. Okay. In the list right now, we've done Celine. We're going to do Rashita. Hey, Sarah, I'm going to have some back and forth with Cheetah's cooking here. If you could delete that and then paste it when it's your turn, because she may and some other people may jump in the chat and then I'll miss, Sarah, what you've got. Don't paste it yet. Wait till it's your turn and then you can paste it. Rashita, let's dive in. And then after Rashita, Sarah, Hope, Love, and Sunshine, Amanda, and Pallavi. Okay. Thank you, Kylie, for being that hostess with the mostest. What does Rashita say? She's also a Taurus, North Carolina. Okay. Charlotte, 5/17/82. And 4:31 p.m. Did I get that right? 4:31 p.m. 5/17/82. Charlotte. Okay, cool. All right, Rashita. Hit that timer. Rashita says, what should I expect in 2024 in general, but especially love? Thank you. You're so welcome. Okay, let me just get to, okay, so Aries is your love house. And the major transits are going to be 8, 9. Okay. And 4 for you. And 2. Okay, so I think some of the biggest energy for you in love is going to come in right as we get into April. So right around this time, we'll have a nice stellium in your 7th house of marriage and commitment in the April timeframe. That includes Venus. We'll have a Venus Chiron conjunction. Mercury will be included as well as the North Node. Ruler of your 7th is Mars, and Mars sits here at the 0-degree mark of Libra. You've got Pluto in aspect and has been for the last several years. Rashita, you've been in the process of undergoing a major transformation in your love sector. It looks like you shed one way of being, thinking about relationship and being in relationship. You may have even have ended like a marriage partnership. And there's this little bit of like never again closed door to the way things used to be. You've come through the completion. Pluto always works in thirds. So there's a death and an ending, there's an integration and learning, and then there's a rebirth. There's a resurrection. And so, Shita, I'm seeing that you are on the resurrection side of this process, where there's something new about to begin for you. The hardest parts of this you've come through. I see you're already in one of the most challenging seasons of your life that you'll ever be in, with Saturn sitting atop your moon. I see this has been challenging for your money, challenging for your career, challenging for your self-esteem. There's been a lot of things because of that sixth house placement, things you couldn't control that you just had to like surrender to and like let happen to you because you couldn't impact or influence them in any particular way. The difficulties of this period have come to a head or will come to a head this year. And then you'll be in a little bit more integration, growth, understanding what this was about for you. A lot of this had to do with surrendering to your emotional reality and truth, not trying to force yourself to be somebody else's Rashita, your parents' Rashita, your ex-husband's Rashita, your kids' Rashita, your friends, Rashita, from college. You've really come into a season of your life that's demanding you become the you that you and God always planned for you to be. And so the situations you've been through in this last segment have been about understanding that you can't not be that. You have to be that in this lifetime. And in so doing, it opens up for you what's going to be a beautiful next chapter in love and career. Best love time for you is going to be the April, May, June period of time. I certainly see as we get into June, July, the wind will change and it will be more about career and work. You're in for a phenomenal career and work up level as we get into late 2024, 2025, and 2026. It looks like your star is about to rise in some tremendous ways. There will be opportunities, new connections, definitely new money. If you've been looking for a promotion or a raise, or you've needed to raise your rates in your business to keep up with the cost of global inflation, it looks like you're going to do that and you will succeed at it. So, this 2024, I think you're going to be able to look back, Rashita. Sarah, please go ahead and paste now. It's your turn. Rashita, I think for you, you're going to look back and look at it and be like, dang, like 2023 and 2024, that's when everything changed. And you just got on this new path that was all about Rashita. Like you stepped into the Rashita show. And it's not been easy. I definitely see there were a lot of difficulties here, a lot of things, a lot of people that you lost, but that wasn't without purpose. It was to help you really understand the truth of who you are and who you're not, so that you can step into unapologetically a life, like I said, that you and God decided you were going to live before you were born. So that's what we got. Thank you, Rashita. We're moving on to Sarah. Um, and we've got Sunday, who's just joined the list. So adding you there. Sarah, birthday. After Sarah, we're going to do Amal, Hope, Love, and Sunshine. So Hope, Love, and Sunshine, you go ahead and get ready. Let's see what our girl Sarah's birth details looking like. Illinois. Rashita, how did all that resonate for you, hon? That was dead on. Thank you so much. You're welcome, sweetie. You're welcome. My pleasure. Winfield. Um, 1 4. Ooh, it's somebody's birthday week. Hey, happy birthday, Cap. Good for you, Sarah. 7:33 p.m. Okay, let's get it. Hit that timer. All right. So Sarah's question is, what are good connection points for romantic soulmates, new or old, for long-term relationships, life partners specifically? Thank you. Okay. Great question, Sarah. I see you moved into a new chapter as well when it comes to love, now that Pluto is stepping into the ruling sign of your seventh house of marriage and commitment. This one's going to be all about locating your power. This next 20-year cycle is about being powerful in love, marriage, commitment, relationships, knowing who you are, and actually exercising your ability, your capacity to do in relationships. So, your seventh house of committed partnership is governed by both Uranus and Saturn, co rulers of the sign of Aquarius. And let's see, conjunct, opposition, opposition. Okay. So, literally, honestly, Sarah, I don't know kind of, I do know. Let me look. Okay, I see work has had your attention. Because and not majorly, but it's about to majorly have your attention. I also see you've been going through a period of significant refinement when it comes to love and relationship. Hey, Mariah, happy birthday. So Saturn moving through the seventh, for you, this has been a period of being more unapologetic about what you need in relationship and being who you are in relationship. Saturn likes to restore wholeness, restore integrity. And so, what is happening here for you is that where you've had relationships in the last 2 years since 2021, 2020, that didn't serve you, that were problematic because you had to twist or bend or pretzel or flex yourself in ways that or repress certain of your feelings to try and quote make it work with other people. You've gone through a period of refinement where that would not have been permitted, and anyone who needed that from you would have been moved out of your life, moved to the side. And so if there were endings in relationship during this period of time, it was because there was a lot of protection on your love life to help you step into being more you. In this, now that Jupiter is coming to oppose the ruler of your seventh house, you're going to see that there are opportunities literally in the now time that invite you into love and relationship. But the question you need to ask yourself, Sarah, is can I handle it when somebody sees all of me? Like, am I okay showing all of myself? You know, your maybe sometimes your house is messy, or sometimes you like to sit and binge watch reruns of Vanderpump Rules, or when you're low, when you're high, when your money's great, when your money's tight, can you let someone see all of you? Because I do see literally in the now time all the way through, I would say, the end of June, you're going to see that there is opportunity to meet people who can handle all of you. The question really is, can you handle all of you being seen by somebody else? And a lot of us really struggle with that. Um, Hang on one second. Okay. There's somebody at my door and I had to let them know how to get in. Um, Hold on. We are still trying to. I'm calling. Sarah, sweetheart, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I have to let this delivery person in, and I was hoping they would get here before I started. If you give me just one moment, I will come back and finish what I was saying here for you. Because literally for you, this is like all about opening up and like leaning into your capacity to be held by love, be seen by life for all of who you are, like warts and all. So it says. So as the saying goes. So if there's anything within you that's really struggling, like you any perfectionistic tendencies, any, ways in which you have felt like afraid to reveal yourself, or like you feel like in order to be loved, I have to be like this, or I have to get my money together, I have to cut my hair, I have to lose weight, or like any of those outer world things, if you are feeling misaligned in that, it will reflect itself because of the Jupiter opposite Uranus. It's going to reflect itself in the way people show up toward you at this time and your ability, willingness, or unwillingness to let people see you. And because literally now is like the best time that you're going to get next year, one of the best times. Yeah, because we have Jupiter trine your Venus, Jupiter opposite the ruler of the seventh, Jupiter at the midheaven. Like if you're not putting yourself out there, I would start and really just trust that who I am as is enough. Who I am, the way I am is perfect, that people love me as I am. And the right person will find me in my as is state, not in some future perfect state. Okay. Oh, yay. They figured it out. Okay, good. All right, Sarah. I thought I was gonna go like do something else, but I like couldn't stop myself. Like the reading was coming through, so I like needed to like just finish it for you. So thank you. Sorry about that interruption. All right, so Sarah, thank you. Amal, um, it is your turn. Miss Hope, Love, and Sunshine. You would go ahead and paste. Because the best time for you is going to be now through, I would say, that May, June, July period, Sarah. Um, so giddy up and get on out there, sis. All right. Also to you too. Thank you. Okay, let's get Hope, Love, and Sunshine. Every time I see your screen name, I have that song in my head from the 80s, Walking on Sunshine. Oh my gosh, it is the Taurian day. Yes, all my Taurus people come through. 5/9/1970, 6:25 p.m. 5/9/70, 6:25 Beirut. Okay, we in. Let me hit this timer. After I do Hope, Love, and Sunshine, Amanda, it'll be your turn. Amanda, please put your question when I call your name, but get it ready. After Amanda, Pallavi. After Pallavi, we'll do Sunday. Okay. So Hope, Love, and Sunshine, let's have it. Relationship with my mom is horrid and keeps getting worse. Ooh, why? And when will it get better? Any positive guidance how to deal with her? She's a Cancer sun. You have the Cancer moon. Let's just see. Okay. So I see. Let me just see who your mom speaks to. Chart. So mom is always governed by the moon. Um, let's see the challenges here. So Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus. Okay, Chiron. Wow. Okay, there's a lot here. Um, my gosh. Okay, so what I'm seeing is the issue here is you and your mom almost have like an over identification with one another. For her to be a Cancer sun, you to be the Cancer moon, and for you to have so many of your planets speaking to your mother in your chart. It's like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Chiron. And then you have all the different asteroids having a conversation with her: Ceres, Pallas, Juno, um, Eris, creation. Yeah, there's like over identification with one another. Part of why this has been so challenging for you, Hope, Love, and Sunshine, is that like she kind of sees you as an extension of herself. And this isn't uncommon with parents. Like they kind of see their child as someone like a third arm or appendage. Like, I told you to pick up the cup. Why aren't you picking up the cup? And it's like, because I'm not your third arm. I'm a whole different, separate other entity with her own agenda that God gave her, right? And a lot of parents kind of miss that with their children. And that's one of the issues I'm seeing here. And this goes two ways, right? Because there's so much linkage from your moon in your natal chart to so many of your other planets. There are so many pieces of you that are a mirror of her, and for her, a mirror of you. There's like an extraordinary amount of mirroring going on between you and her. And so with that, I would say some of the best things that you can do. Um, it's funny because I like have the opposite issue with my parents in certain ways. Like there's this chasm between us in terms of who we are as people, and we have to like build a bridge that we can get on. You and your mother are like on the same side of the bridge, like in the same tent. Like y'all are not even like in separate tents. And so some of this is about giving yourself some of what's happening here, especially because of the way Nessus, well, Nessus isn't exactly there, but it's more of like this Saturn, Jupiter. Like there's just a lot of stuff going on here. One of the best things you can do, given this positioning, this T square of Juno and Chiron and Uranus with the moon, T squares always tell us where there's tension, but where they give us the solution is always over here. Okay. Where there's no occupation by a planet. And so, where there's no occupation for you is this positioning of Capricorn. Okay. Um, and so Capricorn in the second house is self-worth, self-esteem, earned income, but Capricorn is also work ethic. It's like that day-to-day mountain goat climb to being the version of you that you want to be. Wow, this is really interesting that we're in this Chiron conjunct the North Node transit now. The energy is already feelable now. So many of the messages are really about being yourself. And so with this is self-worth, self-esteem. One of the things you're going to have to do is release looking for your mother to validate you, and you are going to have to validate you. You're going to have to be the one who lifts you up, feeds you, waters you, nourishes you, nurtures you. Again, self-worth, self-esteem, second house. And you're going to have to do it in daily and consistent ways, Capricorn, like no days off. The more you're able to do that, um, two things will become true. I think there's probably been what we call like some enmeshment between you and your mom. You're going to be able to get to a place where you she's going to start to see that you no longer um can be moved by her validation and lack of validation. And that's going to be really important to establish a pattern there. And I think you've probably tried to not be moved by it in the past, but then you would fall right back into it. You're going to have to not fall back into it. Once that pattern is established of being unmoved by her validation or lack of validation, right? you'll find that she will be disappointed, which is fine, but you can't let her disappointment starve you. That can't be how you get fed, is what's happening here. You got to find new sources of emotional food and let her, deal with her projections of lost or missed opportunities. She's going to have to do that on her own, and not vicariously through you. Okay. And through that, you kind of break some of the enmeshment cycle. I would also say that there's some work inside a place called the Personal Development School, around enmeshment. That this psychologist, Thais Gibson, has put together. You can see, Heal Yourself from Enmeshment Trauma. She's got some short videos on it, but these are her marketing videos. You will not get healed in 24 minutes. You actually have to take the classes. And so you'll see she also has some classes, Healthy Balance in Relationship and in Codependency. Just take a look at the classes. That'll help you tremendously. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Hope, Love, and Sunshine. I'm sorry to hear it's been so hard, and I'm really hoping this year you can get a breakthrough in a lot of that. And some liberation. Amanda, it is your turn. After we do Amanda, we'll do Pallavi, Sunday, and Amber. Okay. In that order. Let's see. Just going to double check. Let me know how that resonates for you. I know that was probably a harder message to hear, but yeah, the real thing is about not looking for your mother to be your source. Yeah. For validation, you are going to have to step into being that source. Okay. So Amanda's turn, then Pallavi, then Sunday, and then Amber. Pallavi, if you want to get ready to paste your question when I call your name, that would be great. Okay. So Amanda Fredericksburg. Six, 5, 2, 7, 9. Yeah. Okay. Not yet, Pallavi. Let me finish Amanda first, and then I'll do you. Okay. And the list is open. If anybody wants to jump on it, you can. And yep, I got Amber. She's on the list. Okay. Let us do this, and let me hit the timer. All right, Amanda says, Frederick, okay, what would be good for me to focus on this year for my healing journey, especially regarding self-sabotage patterns? Okay. Where's your Venus and your Juno? Okay, that's actually good. And then where's your Mars and your Pluto? Okay. One of the bigger, you're gonna have to let me know if this is true for you, Amanda. It looks like one of the bigger self-sabotage patterns that I can identify. Maybe it's not quite this one. If you want to be more specific, I can be more specific for you. But just based on the chart, one of the self-sabotage patterns of this lifetime for you is kind of doing too much of what other people want you to do. We know the 12th house to be the house of self-imprisonment, self-sabotage. Yours is Scorpio governed. Scorpio rulers are Mars and Pluto. Mars sits in the house of people who have power over you, external to you. Pluto sits in the house of friendship, attached to your moon. And that Mars sits a little too close to for comfort to that Chiron. It's kind of sometimes like going along with people and then like missing what it is that you really want to do, missing opportunities. Um, so I think one of the things you can really do to like overcome that this year, I do see there's going to be some opportunities to overcome that this year. Um, Specifically, let me just get into some transits. Like I said, Amanda, if you want to be more specific, I can be more specific, but this patterning here looks like this year with Jupiter and Uranus moving through your sixth house, going to sit conjunct the ancient ruler of that Mars for you. You're going to find this is a year of like major liberation, where you are going to find that people that you've been trying to just stay connected to, and it was difficult because like sometimes what they wanted just clashed with what you needed or what you wanted. You're going to find that Amanda, you're going to find alignment happens this year with people in some ways that maybe it didn't exist before. Secondarily, I'll also say that as the South Node crosses over this Pluto Moon conjunction, some of the emotions that would have you kind of miss opportunities. I see sometimes your emotions can be so large, so huge, feel so potent, that you kind of need to take a beat, like take some space, and then you may miss stuff like you ever have that energy where you're like you have a disagreement with somebody and then you never the right words to say about how you really feel don't come to you until like 2 weeks later, but by that time the person has moved on and the argument's over. I see sometimes that kind of emotional that like it takes you longer to digest your emotions and how you think and feel about stuff. But I see that some of the bigger things that you've held on to emotionally that have held you back from saying yes to opportunities, saying yes to like, you're going to have an opportunity to release a lot of that this year. Just let go, just purge and release the things that didn't work out, didn't get said, people who aren't a part of your world anymore, who rode roughshod over your feelings. Those folks are going to have the opportunity to let you go, which is really nice. Or you're going to have the opportunity to let your feelings about those things go so that you're free this year. You're going to be free this year to really step into alignment with people who are a fit for you, but also start to step into your dreams without hesitation, procrastination, without delay, without worrying, well, if I do this and so and so is not going to be my friend anymore, we won't be close, we won't have an opportunity to connect. It looks like a lot of that falls away. So, Amanda, 2024 is set to be a year of major liberation from that particular cycle of waiting, or not waiting, but just like feeling held back when it comes to people and emotions. Okay. So thank you, Amanda. List is still open if anyone would like to jump on it. I just completed Amanda. We're going to go to Pallavi, Sunday, and then Amber. In that order, you would be after Amber. So just two people away here. I'm going to read for Pallavi now. Okay, so I do not have a payment from Shay. So Kylie, if you want to tell her how this works, welcome Shay. It's so nice to meet you and Happy New Year. Happy to read for you. The way you jump on the list is up at the top here. One question, one chart, mini readings. Make your payment. It's $33.33 USD. Give me your birth details as you see Pallavi did here. I'll add you to the list. When it's your turn, place your information and I'll read for you. I'm going to read for Pallavi now. Then I'm going to read for Sunday and then Amber. And then as soon as you make your payment, Shay, I'll add you to the list. Okay, so back here to Miss Pallavi. Okay, Bangalore. Miss Pallavi is, please confirm for me that that is October 8th, Pallavi, and not August 10th, 4:42 p.m. Okay. Please confirm, Pallavi. Let me just see what our girls are saying here. Hope says, my dad always said she was jealous of me. I live with her now so I can look after my dad. She's always trying to compete with whatever I do as if we are fighting for my dad. Yeah, she may have some childhood stuff she never outgrew. Hope, love, and sunshine. Some people are like that. You know, they have kids and they still have their pain from their own childhood, not getting enough love in the way that they needed it, that they never quite healed from. Shay says, wait, I talked to Shay. Amanda says, I was raised by a narc mom, so I think I have people-pleasing tendencies, and I'm currently trying to learn more about who I really am. Yeah, 100%. Okay. Lobby, that's right, Kate. 8th October. Okay, thank you for confirming. All right, let's set the timer and get into her question. Pallavi's question is what? What do I expect for 2024, specifically in love and relationship? Thanks for giving us your time. You're welcome. It's my pleasure and honor to do so. Okay, I love this year for you because your seventh house of committed partnership is governed by a late degree of um Virgo here. Okay. When this happens, you remember when I was telling y'all about that May 9th transit, Jupiter, Uranus, Sun, Venus coming through this period of time in the sign of Earth sign Taurus, it's going to harmoniously aspect your seventh house of committed partnerships gateway or entry point. This will also, all of this year will harmoniously aspect your Jupiter-Venus conjunction in your natal chart. You're going to have Juno, the wife, retrograde back and forth over your seventh house of committed partnership and your gateway point here, verdicts. This is a tremendous year in love for you, Pallavi. These next 6 months are going to be huge starting now. And so because the activation is coming through your second house of self-worth, self-esteem, and earned income through the sign of Taurus, which is the sign of desire and feeling good and pleasure, the thing I want you to focus on is doing everything you can out in the world, not in your own apartment or your own house, out in the world where you can be with people that feels good, that's pleasurable, that is fun for you, because that's going to condition the atmosphere and tell the universe, the matrix, or the hologram, call it what you want, that you're ready, that you're open, that you're available for love and life to come and meet you, greet you, and be with you. I would, with this kind of energy, I would make it a point to do something every single week that is fun for you, that is interesting to you, that makes you feel alive, that makes you feel deeply nourished. You know, be careful with this because there's both Taurus and Virgo are very feminine signs. So you might find yourself like hanging out in women's circles a lot. And that's cool if you want to date women. That'll work for you if you date women. But if you date dudes, then you need to like do some stuff where dudes are, okay? Or if you're pansexual and you're open to everybody, then just make sure you're in places where everybody is, okay? Because otherwise you may find yourself in like, you know, silent meditation retreats with all, you know, women. And that's, like I said, silent meditation retreat, no, because you got to interact with people to know if you like them and if they like you. All women, cool if you date women, right? Put yourself in places that are fun with dateable people for you, whatever dateable people look like for you. Okay. Take trips, take classes, volunteer. Virgo is our sign of service. Taurus again is all about like the pleasure of the physical body. So maybe take some cooking classes, dance classes, I don't know, like massage classes if you want. Just as long as dateable people are going to be wherever it is you're having fun, go for it. Okay. Um, this period, like it's literally the first 6 months of this year where I see the biggest opportunities in love showing up for you. Don't waste it because this is a once in a lifetime transit. Also, because this is about self-worth, self-esteem, and making money. Any opportunities you have to make money or collaborate with folks, career-wise, because Jupiter is the ruler of your 10th house of career there, you're going to see that those really bring to the table, surprisingly, people that you can actually date. So good luck with it all, Pallavi. Sunday, it is your turn. Sunday, please paste your cue. Pallavi, I'm excited. You're going to have to report back. And if there's like a specific person you have in mind, just doing this having fun thing that I'm advising you to do, just doing that, there's a real opportunity for you to like just shift the frequency between you and that person, shift the energy in such a way where you might be surprised. You get some surprise phone calls, some surprise you want to hang out, some surprise like they show up in one of these fun places that you're trying to have your own fun in. It programs and reconditions the atmosphere. So all right. Good stuff, Pallavi. Can't wait to hear the report back. It does look like you'll be able to meet someone. Okay. So we've got Sunday. Martha has joined. She's on the list. 2468. 7:46 a.m. Okay, let's see what's going on for Miss Sunday. Where did my timer go? Hey, congrats on that studio and happy upcoming birthday. Um, it's my Elon year. I'm excited for you, Kylie. Um, it is your Elon year. Okay. What is your question? How do I release the anger Sunday? Is your question, what should I expect in my new space? Is your question about how to not feel pulled apart? Like I'm having trouble understanding what's the question Sunday. Tell me what your question is so we can get started. After Sunday, we'll do Amber and then Martha. Thank you, Martha, for joining the list. Happy New Year to everyone who's just joining. It's always awesome to have you guys here. I love doing this. If you're just joining, tell me how your New Year's celebration went. I'm really curious, like, what did you do? Did you hang out by yourself? Did you, see family? Were you with friends? Did you cook? Did you clean? Did you sleep? Curious how y'all's New Year's celebrations went. Okay, so Sunday asks, what would be good for me to focus on this year for healing? Okay, got it. Okay, so healing for you. is here in Cancer and Capricorn, and Pluto is about power. Natal, and it deals with anger. Natal Pluto is here. Okay. Because of the way Neptune is going to oppose that natal Pluto for you, um, what you want to be able to do, Neptune is all about releasing and letting go. And so if you can Sunday, I would start to spend as much time as you can around and in water. I would start to program water for you because of the way water is the ruler of that sixth house. You're going to have to, first of all, recognize where is it that I felt like my power either got trampled on or didn't get exercised in the way that I want to feel powerful, capable, and able in my own life. That's the first thing. And then you're going to have to forgive yourself. That's this Neptune opposite Pluto thing, and forgive whoever was involved. I definitely see there's some grief that needs to happen with the Neptune opposition to Pluto this year. It was last year too. I see you were grieving last year too. It's going to be necessary for you to come out of anger and come into the experience of loss, and grieve what's no longer there, what's not available, what you don't have access to, who's not there or how they behaved or what they did. You're going to have to get into the grief and come out of the anger. And through that process of working with the water, working with the tears, the sweat, of, the ugly cry, the snot, like releasing that water from your body, but also nourishing yourself with water, taking, magnesium and salt baths and crystal baths, like really working with the crystals that cultivate healing for you, in terms of forgiveness and release and enlightenment and understanding what was this about, et cetera, et cetera. This is going to be a tremendous way for you to begin the process of healing. And I don't know if maybe you don't have a bathtub, you can put crystals in a spray bottle and use crystal water infusions. You can work with structure, you can structure your water that way, put it in the sunlight, put it in the moonlight, use it as, sheet sprays, cleansing throughout your day. Use selenite as well, or moonstone. All of that is really going to help you. But I think the biggest thing is you got to be willing to grieve, um, and let yourself understand that what happened, um, may have been outside of your control, but that doesn't mean your life is outside of your control. The other thing, too, I'm seeing is that whatever it was that made you angry was definitively, based on what I'm seeing in your chart, part of an ending. Like whatever ended was supposed to end. There is a closing out of a cycle for you. You're in a once in 18-year graduation. Amber, if you could go ahead and paste your question, please. Amber, it is your turn next. And then we're going to do Martha P. And if you want to get on the list, you'd be right after Martha P. You can go ahead and make your payment now. The wait's not too long. But Sunday, you're closing out a once in 18-year cycle. When the transit north node comes back to the position of your birth north node, that's called a graduation season. In graduation seasons, the cast of characters, the circumstances, the structure of your life that was appropriate for the last segment is not going to be appropriate for the next segment. So it's a season of letting go and release. Why am I telling you this? Are you a fixed baby? Let me look. You must have a lot of fixed energy. Nope, you don't have a lot of fixed energy. Secondarily fixed, but you're a mutable baby. I'm a balanced baby. I have most of these in balance. So letting go isn't that hard for you, or flexibility isn't that hard for you. But yeah, one of the things that you're being shown and guided to here is to understand that in this next chapter, part of the major lesson that you had to learn as you close that chapter out was how to lean into your own ambition. Don't be waiting for people to do stuff with you, do stuff for you. This is about learning how to get up and go when it's time for you to go. And some of the people who left, I hate to see it when bridges have to get burned in order to move through a graduation. Sometimes, you know, we don't have to burn a bridge in order to cross it. We can just walk across it, right? But some people can't walk across a bridge without burning it. Some people can't walk out the door without slamming it. And so there's no way for me to know like who was at fault, who wasn't. Hey, Amber, it's your turn. Please paste your question, hon. Um, there's no way for me to know who did what in your situation. Is probably mutual, like both of y'all did stuff that didn't serve you Sunday. And so it's just about owning your part, owning your power in the situation, and then releasing, letting yourself get into the grief process. That's the major thing I can see here. There's some grief that needs to be handled, because it's through that grief process you will understand what is in your control, what's in your power, and what's not. And work with water. Work with water to release. Okay. All right. Let me just refresh my page. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe Amber posted. Um, see. See. Right? It's definitely in her energy, Kylie. Pallavi says, I'm really excited. You told me 2024 would be a turning point in my relationship with my counterpart. In our personal readings, I just felt chills. Yeah. But it's really through that, your behavior, Pallavi, that it shifts. Okay, I don't know where Amber is, so we're going to move on to Martha P. Martha, we'll do your turn. And then if anybody wants to join, you would be next. If you would like to jump on the list, you absolutely can. I'm going to go ahead and share this feed on the main K-Moon YouTube channel. And we'll just read whoever comes first, Martha or Amber. Let's see. Your channel. And if anyone has heard anything, you're like, okay, I need more intel on that. There's definitely some half-hour readings available in my calendar. Be great to chat with you if you would like to do a half-hour reading, okay? Or a full reading if you want, but if you just need some clarification or have one or two follow-up questions, a half hour is more than enough. You don't need to do more than that, okay? Here we are doing New Year's mini readings on my channel. I'm gonna say hi. I'll um ask your Q. I'd love to see you. Okay. All right. Right. Close out of that. Come back here. Wow. Okay. So Martha and Amber have left. Are either of you here? Kylie, by way of a thank you, I would be happy to read your chart, hun. Do you want me to have a look? Do you have any questions today? Happy to take a look for you, hun. And then if you guys have any whatchamacallits, like questions about general or collective energy, or you want me to look at any celebrities, I can definitely do that as well. Lots of different fun, entertaining things going on right now out in the collective. So if you want me to have a look at any of the astrology of that stuff, happy to peek at it. We'll give Martha and Amber a minute or two. If they don't come back, then when we close out today, I'll just give them a refund. Okay. Refresh. Okay. Thank you, Kylie. I was wondering, I was like, why is nobody talking to me? I was just gonna, Kylie, I was just gonna ask you that. Okay. Oh, great. Okay. Thank you, Kylie. Okay. Let me reshare screen here. There we go. All right. The first one to come through in my chats, we had Shay, Kylie directing traffic. Thank you. And we have Sunday. Okay. So wait, we read for Sunday. Hang on. Let me come back. Pallavi, Kylie, Pallavi. Amber. Okay, here we go. Amber is Costa Mesa. Okay. And 625, 85. Um, 5 o'clock p.m. Make sure I have that right. Okay, perfect. And then let me hit the timer. Okay, Amber says, so helpful, the one-on-one overview of 2024, what I should be most focused on. 23 was rough, lost closest family, got engaged, congratulations, got handed a department at work. Roller coaster of emotions. All right, Amber, let's take a look. And thank you for your patience. I didn't know I needed to refresh, but sometimes that happens. Okay. So, congrats on all the big good stuff that happened in 2023. Really tremendous stuff. I love that 2023 was so good. That's a Jupiter transit through the fifth house for you. Okay. Then let's jump in. I definitely see major focus. I mean, honestly, it looks like the major focus is settling into your new level. We've got Uranus activating your natal Venus, which is your seventh house of committed partnership. It can either change the status, which we know you're about to get married, or it can like prepare you for a status change. We've got Jupiter heading into that seventh house. Again, we know you're about to get married. It's a classic transit for either love coming in or marriage solidifying, a relationship solidifying. So that's amazing. We have Saturn at the bottom of your chart telling us you're about to relocate or move, which makes sense. You and your partner may move in together or get a bigger space together. Um, and if you're making more money, you may need to, you may be interested in an up level in space anyway, even if your partner and you don't want to live together. Um, and that Saturn is going to solidify some things at your midheaven in your career sector around your role. So if you've been juggling and wearing like two hats in your organization, or you have been kind of like, um, being like they laid off three people and then gave you like all of their jobs, it looks like you're going to solidify some of that role and maybe hire some people underneath you to really work with your, um, just work with your department, work with your team, go where you're like up, like organize it. Looks like structure, that's Saturn, boundaries and order are about to come into your work life. And it's also about to stabilize in your home life. All of the changes that you've gone through were really meant to assist you with getting to this next level. I do see, because you're at a next level, some of your friendships, they've already shifted starting last year. They will shift some more this year. There's some people who are going to leave and some people who are going to come in. Well, I was saying to somebody just recently, look, you don't need to burn a bridge to cross it. You don't need to slam a door to walk out of it. There are some people who, because just your circumstances change, there's a new cast of characters that are going to come around you and surround you as a function of you moving on to this next level. You may have more friends who are like married couples now, integrating yourself into your counterparts family, them integrating into yours, spending more time with friends who understand the responsibilities you have at work and not, they're not like, hey, why aren't you available? It's like, well, because I got shit to do, right? The people who just aren't going to the next chapter with you are going to start to move themselves to the nosebleed seats in the stadium of your life. The people who really are going to be able to support you are going to move themselves to the front row seats. So there's a bit of a shifting in the people you're surrounded by. Certainly see that some new people are going to be able to call you soul family with Pluto moving into the third house, onto your axis of PR and marketing. Power is going to come through your words in ways that it's like, what, like you're really going to start to understand the concept of authority um, in your life at this point in time, and really understand the linkage between your authority and your identity. Something my coach, Yielded Vessel, has been working with me on, but there's a major connection here that you're about to integrate around those two concepts, around authority, identity, and language, your words, to like make certain things happen. It's like life kind of moved you to, I don't know, like the upper level. And this year in particular is going to be about adjusting to it more than anything. Like the changes that were going to happen have happened. Now it's about adjusting and getting your life to align to it, like really like leaning into it. Okay, your new identity, in your role as a wife, your role as a sister-in-law, a daughter-in-law, your role as, the manager or the leader of this department. You're really going to step into the expanded identity at this period of time. Okay. We're going to go to Martha. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, Amber. We're going to go to Martha now, and then we're going to go to Shay. I saw Shay jumped on the list. Welcome, Shay, and Happy New Year. If you would like to get on the list, if you're just joining, I'm going to read for Martha, read for Shay, and then it'll be your turn. So feel free to jump in. Burlington, Vermont. Feel free to jump on the list. The way to do that is here. Just drop a payment of $33.33 over at that PayPal link, and then it'll be your turn. Burlington. Five, 6, 1981. 7:30 p.m. Oops. Undo, pin it. Okay, good. Shoot. Where did I stick it? Okay, perfect. Okay. I love that. Friendships definitely started. I'm hoping to develop meaningful friendships. I just became editor in chief of a massive magazine, and the spotlight is not my favorite place. Yeah, you're gonna have to get comfortable with it because a lot of people are going to be looking to you for guidance and direction in that new role. Okay. Welcome, Elaine. And it looks like, okay. Looks like a couple of other people may have joined. If you're new, welcome. Kylie shared the instructions. Our moderator, Kylie, shared how to get a reading. Okay. So I'm going to do Martha and then Shay and then Melaine, it would be you. Where is Martha? Why do I not? Okay, there it is. Okay. Whew. Okay. May 6th, Burlington. Okay. I'm curious how this big Jupiter conjunct Uranus will impact me and what I can do to lean into the blessings. Yeah, well, it's going to impact you in your love life big time, Martha. Let's pull this up. Let's just go to the initial date on 4/21. You'll see the two of these on 4/21 are sitting at that 21st degree of Taurus. And then you're going to see that basically right on top of your Venus Chiron Sun conjunction in your 7th house of marriage and commitment. My girl, listen, whatever it is you've been trying to conjure, cultivate, or create in the world of love, marriage, and commitment, this is the year where it can really happen for you. But here's the thing. This Venus Chiron conjunction in your natal chart, and I see Mercury is a part of it. You got to really unburden yourself of any stinking thinking that you have going on about being worthy of love, capable of love, um, getting the right people to love you. You're going to have to release all negative thoughts, all negative kind of like emotional patterns that you run. Like sometimes we can get in emotional ruts in our lives where we think, kind of the worst of ourselves or the worst of our prospects and possibilities. Anything where you have been telling yourself, maybe you're not enough, maybe it won't happen for you in this lifetime, maybe it won't happen with that person. You got to release all of that in order to get this blessing, because Jupiter will expand whatever he touches, and this blessing transit is going to open and bless whatever it is you're standing in. But if you're standing in like really crappy thinking, it'll expand crappy thinking, and that's the last thing you need. So you're really going to have to nourish, nurture, and feed yourself positive thoughts about your prospects in love. I see with that Chiron Venus conjunction and with your sun, like it is your identity in love. Sometimes you kind of really gravitate toward broken wing people. and they gravitate toward you. The way you love is a gift, Martha, and you have to understand that it is special, that it is not for everyone, that it needs to be guarded, but shared freely, but not necessarily with like everyone can't ride shotgun with you in your vehicle. Shotgun is reserved for someone who also wants to love you freely as well. I see you have a tendency to gravitate, like I said, toward people projects, and they have a tendency to gravitate toward you, as will be your nature in this lifetime. But what you want to do is you want to really pay attention to when people are like just sucking you dry versus when they're pulling themselves up and allowing you to support that process, right? There's a big difference because you can't want people's healing more than they want it for themselves. And so you really want to pay attention to people who are already in the healing process and work with those people, lean into those people. If you've got a specific person in mind, Martha, um, this is a year where that relationship could really change and take a direction for the better. But you have to speak life over it with your words. You're going to have to really visualize what's the best way this could go. What's the best case scenario? You're going to have to really nourish yourself and your creatorship with your ideas about, well, what if they're not broken? And what if there's nothing wrong with me? What if this could be the best case scenario? What's the best that could happen? Um, and really release a lot of the specific person community does a lot around like looking for blocks and interference. You have to release that and move out of that and move into light, move into loving the person as they are. Release any criticism, coaching, and correction of yourself and of that person or of whoever comes in, and really just be with, like, I'm perfect as I am, and everyone else is perfect as they are. And imperfect people can have perfect love in this lifetime, because I really see that that's what this is inviting you into, but you're gonna have to believe it in order to see it. All right. One of the best positions for that particular Jupiter Uranus conjunction when it comes to love is the seventh house, or connected to Venus in any way. And you've got it both on top of your Venus and in the seventh house. God's really trying to tell you, look, I've seen you suffer because of this Chiron Venus thing in your life when it comes to love. I'm going to put an end to that for you, but you got to work with me. You got to align yourself to goodness and believe that you can have it. Okay. So that's what I got for you there, Martha. We're going to read for Shay now. Um, hey, Malene, welcome. Okay. Malene, I have thought about that. That's a great question. And historically, during live mini readings, I've added a tarot card pull for folks. I just haven't really, I'm not as guided to tarot. I can read it, I get a lot of messages through it, but my gifting, it's not my gifting because I can read tarot just as good, but my guidance has been, you stay in the astrology lane. And so that's just what I'm doing. I'm just honoring my guidance. Okay. Martha says Mercury retrograde has entered the chat. Yes, it did. And now we've gotten it. We've gotten our feedback. Mariah, I don't have another payment method, hon. I just do the PayPal today. So, if you can reset your password, that would be great. If not, I'm just trusting that it just may not be the day. Okay. Malene, welcome. I just need you to make your payment and then I can read for you. I love that Hope and Amber are neighbors. That is awesome. Thank you, Malene. Okay, Malene, just make your payment and I can read for you. Awesome. Where is Shay? It's Shay Y's turn, and then we're gonna go to Brenda after Shay. And then as soon as Malene makes her payment, she can be on the list too. Um, yes, Giaria, I have yours. I have yours. Giaria Yisrael, I have you. I have your payment. Kelly is now on the list, Kelly K. So we'll do Shiaria, Brenda, and then Kelly. Okay. Mm, 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 mm. Born in Kingston, Jamaica. One. Hey, happy birthday, Shiaria. Okay, 1981, 10, 32. Where are we at? AM. Okay, amazing. Oop, bring that back here. Okay. Brenda, please hold your cue until I call your name for your turn. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me set the timer. Thank you, Lily. Okay, it's been challenging with transformations. They have been painful. Okay, yeah, I see. You got a lot going on. I want to know if all the work and transitions I've made will be solidified. They will be. It's just going to be a little process. Um, what you're up against here is this movement of Pluto sitting atop your moon. And with moon as ruler of your house of creativity, home and family, Pluto governing Scorpio, that house of transformation, and moon sitting here in your house of friendship, hopes, wishes, and dreams. There's a lot of some of the foundational pieces of you, Shiaria, that are in the process of changing. Your mind and your emotions are Rubik's cubing. They are shape shifting in a way that is going to change your outer world as a function of your inner world becoming so different than it's ever been. And so, with this, I mean, I hate to tell you to be patient, but it is a slower process. You'll look back at the end of the 2020s and see that you're not the same woman you were when the pandemic began. This period of time is meant to completely transform you at just about every level that you could be transformed. And because of this, when we transform at that level on the inside, if we do it too fast, you'd probably need a straitjacket. And so your life is changing at the pace at which emotionally you can handle. And so, what there is to do with this is to recognize that, first of all, this is once in a lifetime. You'll never go through this again in this capacity because Pluto takes 248 years to get around the wheel. Uranus, that's sitting with your sun by square, takes 84 years to get around the wheel. For you to have incarnated in such a way where you would have the earthly experience of these big transformational planets, Pluto, death, integration, resurrection, Uranus, quantum leap evolution into your next iteration of self. For these two heavy hitters to speak jointly loud to your sun and your moon is the kind of thing, it's like you incarnate for this because of what it's going to do for your soul, the way it's going to imprint your spirit as it continues to move through its iterations in this realm and the next. And so, with this type of transformation, it is basically like you being carved, like the statue of David, out of raw marble into your masterpiece at this moment. And your spiritual masterpiece won't be able to be shaken, uncarved, or reshaped at any other point later. Not with this. This is kind of like permanent spiritual level shift that you'll take with you in future lifetimes. So I get it. Being carved is not comfortable, right? Um, and simultaneously, one of the things that Pluto gives you is access to your personal power. What Uranus gives you is access, direct connection, direct communication with your relationship to God and God's mind. And so the two of these together are what's happening for you is you're being broken out of your humanity so that you can live, incarnate as God inside of you. All of the things that you were attached to in your humanity are falling away with this kind of transit. And this is why it may be painful. And I talked about this in that post and email that I sent out recently. Chiron conjunct the North Node during this season of time. Whatever you're attached to or wear as a badge of identity in pain is going to be where this is going to be the most difficult. And so if there have been certain people or friendships or identities, you know, being born a woman or a woman of color, my identity markers, right? A lot of that has a lot of pain wrapped up in it. And simultaneously, freedom is here, liberation is here. Being limited by being a woman of color, being an American, being a whatever, right? Differently abled, having a learning challenge, neuroatypical, whatever your label of identity markers are that have put you in certain boxes that you may have found pride in after overcoming a lot, those things are also now completely breaking off of you so that you can be free to be everything that you and God decided you were going to be before you even got in this body. And so, where there's attachment, yeah, there's going to be some pain. But the more you can detach to from all of what and who you used to be and the ways you used to identify yourself, the more you can let that go, easier this is going to be. Okay. And the more freedom you'll have to step into all of what you're meant for. Big change, big transit, once in a lifetime. Sharia, you got this. Okay. You got this. Keep going. It's slow. Like I said, it's supposed to be, because if it were to happen any faster, your humanity and your life wouldn't keep up. You would need a straitjacket. Okay. Brenda, it's your turn. Okay, now there's Miss Brenda. What's your question, Brenda? Newport News, Virginia. Um, she already let me know how that resonates for you. Okay. 4:15. 1961, 5:45 a.m. Newport News, Virginia, 4:15, 61, 5:45 a.m. Good job, Brenda. I got all your birth details. Now I need your question. After I do Brenda, we're going to do Kelly K. And if you want to get on the list, you'd be right after Kelly K. Okay. Just going to double check my list here. Okay, Brenda, Sharia. Okay, cool. And if you're hearing anything where you're like, okay, what I need is some clarification or to go deeper around something, there is time available in my chart, roughly maybe 10 days from now, in my calendar. Just jump on my calendar. You can book over at kmoonastro.com. I would love to read for you. Um, yeah. Shiare, you got this. You'll come through this with a lot more strength than you knew you had. Okay. Let's see what Brenda's question is here. You set the timer. Kelly K, if you could get ready until I wait, like Kylie said here, hold your question until I call your name. But Kelly K, if you could load up your question so you could paste it, that would be great when I call your name. But let me do Brenda. Okay, so Miss Brenda says, repeating patterns in relationships and jobs. I leave when I realize I've been giving and giving until I'm drained. Okay, I see what that is there. I feel guilt about leaving, ghosting. Okay, my question is following birth info. I got it. I got it. Okay, this is a function of Chiron conjunct Juno. That's also can happen when Chiron is speaking to Venus, but you have a Venus Sun conjunction, and that can also be a function of Venus conjunct the Sun and the Moon, no less. It's not uncommon for your nature, especially at work. Jupiter, where Jupiter sits in your chart, is where you are most generous. Your nature is to be exceptionally giving as it is. The very thing that can be our superpower can also be our Achilles heel. And that's what we're seeing play out here for you. You weren't built this way by accident. For you to come in both with Chiron and Juno conjunct and Venus conjunct Sun and Moon. This is you're someone who was built for giving in a very particular way. It is your nature to give, it is your nature to be generous. It is also your nature. Um, on the other flip side, both Venus and Juno talk about receiving. And so the solution to what is the Chiron component to this is going to, here's Neptune, yes, learn how to end things in Scorpio, especially in relationship or partnerships where it's imbalanced, learning how to end things gracefully, how to release and let go without expecting mutuality if other people don't have mutuality within them, because when you're built this way, you can also, like, our puzzle pieces, the pieces that fit with us are people who um do a lot of taking, so that can be problematic there, right? And so some of this is learning how to let go a lot faster and a lot sooner, so that you don't get drained. But then secondarily, Jupiter is the secondary solution. Yeah, some of this is also about finding more creative ways to allow other people to participate with you. Some of this is you can see what needs to be done before other people do. With some of these placements here, especially with Mercury in the 12th, I see you have the capacity to kind of just do things, Brenda, and then they're done. But then you're doing things for other people before they realized what they needed. Some of this is about learning to, like, not, it's like almost like your love language is like acts of service. Some of this is learning that love also lets people learn, right? Lets people learn how to be with their own needs and lets them learn how to love themselves, not always doing it for them. So the best thing you can do is like sometimes you're going to have to stop yourself before you just give, right? Um, and give yourself permission, give other people the permission to fall and scrape their knees or sometimes miss a meal, because they didn't think ahead about planning for food, miss a deadline because they didn't manage their time correctly. Learning how to let people exercise the power of asking for help instead of just giving before they ask, right? For you, that's a love language to be able to anticipate needs and deliver. But one of the best ways you can love other people is letting them live in their power. Brenda, if you were born in 61, there's a possibility you might have children. You may have remembered that there were times where it was hard for you, but you had to learn how to let them learn how to interact with life. You had to learn how to let them forget their lunch, learn how to let them forget their homework, learn how to let them, forget their uniform if they played sports so that they could, because it's only through the process of directly interfacing with life that they learned, right? And so that's what's going on here is you're going to love people by letting them interface with life instead of trying to protect them from discomfort. The biggest way you can love them is by just being present and witnessing their discomfort instead of trying to prevent their discomfort. Okay. All right, Brenda, that's what I got for you. Yes, Shiaria, I'd be happy to talk to you for an hour. When you're ready, there's I think an hour right around the 17th of the month, 15th, 16th, 17th, if you want to talk then. Brenda, you have to let me know how that resonates for you. Okay. Um, but don't feel guilty. It's just you need to let go sooner. That's all. Kelly K, it is your turn. And I could definitely go deeper on that for you if you want to, in a private reading, because there's more that I can say about how to do that, how to work with that based on some of the other aspects in your chart, but that's about as much as I can do in a mini reading. Um, okay, let me just double check the payment app here, the PayPal. After Kelly K, it would be your turn. If you're listening and you would like a reading, I would love to read for you. Is the perfect time to jump on the list because there's no wait. But yeah, if anybody has any questions about current events or celebrities, I'm also happy to have a look at those or things in the future. Happy to have a look at that stuff as well. It'd be my honor. Exactly what I needed to hear today. You're welcome, Bren. You're so welcome. Happy New Year's, guys. If anyone's just joining, welcome. Happy New Year's. Great to have you. We're going to read for Kelly K now. And if you'd like to jump on the list, you absolutely can. The way to do that is just send 3333 USD to this PayPal address here up in the pinned comment. And once you've done that, you'll be on the list. I'm going to read for Kelly K now. The list is very short. I've worked through a lot of people already, but then it'll be your turn. Okay. Kelly K. You can ask about the upcoming Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. You could ask about the Chiron North Node conjunction and what that would mean for you. If you've got a particular pattern that you've been repeating and you're ready to overcome it once and for all, I can look for the solution in your chart. If you've got a goal, moving, launching a business, relocation, getting a new job, asking for a raise, Love. You want to call love in and you want to know the best times for love for you next year. All of that, we can look at it. I can even look at some of your childhood stuff, like if you had a pattern in childhood with either one of your parents or with friends, and you're like, I need to understand what that was about. What was I supposed to learn? What is that about my personality or about one of their personalities? Let me know. Happy to have a look for you. Okay, so let me set the timer. Kelly K says, going through a very long period of alone time and feeling purposeless without direction, like I can't fully grasp what I'm meant to do. Is there a block or something I can do to move forward? Let's take a look. Okay, yeah, that is about to change as Jupiter moves into your fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth house. These are our relationship houses. Jupiter expands any house that he's going into, and they're like what they bring to the table. Um, this is a once in 12 year now relationship focused transit. You went through a self focused transit with Jupiter through 1, 2, 3, and 4. Jupiter in these positions is all about expanding, unfolding, growing into yourself. Jupiter through 9 through 12 is about our relationship to the world stage. And so Jupiter moving into 5, 6, 7, and 8 over the next 4 years is about to bring in a relationship season of your life. So never fear, time is here. And what I would say, excuse me, looking at this, let me come back. Feeling purposeless, interesting, without direction, can't grasp what I meant to do. Is there a block? Okay, so that's a separate question. We can look at purpose maybe in a private reading. I would recommend 30 minutes if you just want to look at purpose and what you're meant to do and how you're meant to do it and talk through some work options, because the reality is you're already doing your purpose, Kelly. Everyone here has a purpose that's on earth, from your cup to your chair that you're sitting in to the floor below you to the carpet on your wall, or not your floor, to the walls in your building. Everything on earth has a purpose. Nothing is purposeless, but to apply it in terms of work may take a little bit of extra support. So we'll speak to just the love stuff, since that's kind of what's really showing up here. Jupiter in your fifth house next year is going to open up the beginning of a boom in your love sector. It is going to, the Jupiter Uranus conjunction at the 21st degree of Taurus will be right at the entry gateway to your fifth house. This is dating, flirtation, and romance. This is someone becoming a part of your day-to-day life. Sixth house, that merge. Seventh house is commitment. Eighth is, and we saw somebody earlier, has Jupiter roaming through the seventh, and she's about to get married this year. She got engaged last year. And then Jupiter in the eighth is like where that alchemy, where two become one in the act of sexual alchemy. So you could meet someone anytime with these transits, or somebody that you already know things could go to the next level with these transits as well. But it is going to require you kind of coming out of this purposeless, directionless stuff. You're going to actually have to have some sense of chutzpah, direction, something that you want about you. Because this fifth house, which governs dating and romance and flirtation, is governed by the sign of Taurus. Taurus creates through having fun, through feeling good. The creatorship of Taurus, things come into alignment when Taurus is feeling juiced up and really like sensual and enjoying life. And if that's not what you're doing, it will actually block love from coming in for you. You won't be able to find you because you're not in the right position. Love will show up where it's supposed to show up, but you'll be 2 cities or towns away. And so I think it'll be really important for you to start the process of figuring out, what do you want to do? What's next in your life? Where did you leave yourself off? Because as this Jupiter then starts the process of squaring your natal Venus, major love. It's right here in like February, March. It'll square your moon. That's fertility. It'll open you up for love as well and flirtation. But if you're not feeling like getting up and putting yourself out there, and you go on a date and you're like, not going to work. You got to get into the vibe for this. And so I'd recommend a longer reading for you, Kelly, so we can look at what is this purposelessness? What is this directionlessness? What is it that you want to do next? And what are the steps you need to take to get out there? Because it's through that process of feeling good. That's Taurus. That's how Taurus creates. And that's your fifth house of creativity, feeling good. You're going to be able to align yourself with this love transit that's coming in for you, this major love transit. You can book with me over at K Moon Astro when you're ready. Okay. Anna, it is your turn. Anna made a payment. Anna is on the list. Please paste your question, Anna. After Anna, we will do whoever wants to jump on next. It could be your turn next. If you would like to jump on the list, it is open. MJ wants to know, can I ask about my North Node and the planets that oppose it? 100%. I'd be happy to talk to you about that and what it means in your natal chart. Yep. Nope. You can ask me anything you want astrologically, MJ. The only thing I wouldn't do is just look at somebody else's chart for you. But yeah, you can ask about that. I'd love to look at that. If you have questions about your natal chart, you're just trying to understand kind of like, what does it mean when this and this is happening? Or what's the light and the shadow of, this in my chart? Or I feel like this has been a problem for me. Is there a light side to it in my birth chart? I would love to answer those kinds of questions for you. Bring them on. Okay. Um, so we're waiting on Anna. And Kylie has a community question. I love community questions. Please, please, please let me know. What is the community question? Let me refresh just in case y'all are posting and I'm not seeing it. Aw, thanks for hitting that little heart. I love these hearts. They're fun. Okay. Just gonna refresh one more time because I'm not seeing Kylie's community question and I'm not seeing Anna's question yet either. I see Jolene has jumped on the list. I'm curious about the Paris Olympics. There's a lot of controversies from the bed bugs to the reef damage. Huh? Is there going to be any big changes coming from this event? That is a great question. I'm curious about that too. All right, we'll look into it. Let me just find the date for the Paris Olympics. I would totally want to go but I don't want bed bugs. Like the bed bugs, I don't want, no, miss me with that. Okay. Okay, I see Anna posted, so I'm going to get up Anna's chart and then we'll have a look at Paris Olympics, okay? Other on the city. 12/22. Hey, you just had a birthday. Happy birthday. Anna, happy birthday. 4:15 a.m. Okay. Annie, what is your question? Okay, let me set the timer. And then hang on, Jolene, I got your payment. It's going to be your turn after Annie. So go ahead and get your question ready so that when I'm done with Annie, I can call your name and you can just paste it and there's no dead time in between the readings. If you'd like to get on the list, now's the perfect time to do so. I'm going to read for Annie, Jolene, and then it would be your turn if you'd like to jump on it. I can look at your chart. If you have questions about your natal chart, I can look at transits coming for next year. If you've got patterns, if you've got things you'd like to overcome, things you want to accomplish, if you've got goals, I can look for solutions for all of that in your chart. Okay. Let's go with Anna. Question is a lot of changes that I'm going through, just changed my career. Okay. And I am not loving it. Oh, is there anything in particular I should be focused on in clarity? Great question, Annie. And yes, I see you. Okay. Let me just see what could be going on in career that it is unenjoyable. So we have Mercury as the ruler of the 10th as well as Moon. Okay. And I see here that we have had Neptune square Merc. Okay. And we have had Saturn sextile Merc. Where's your nodal axis? Okay. This is interesting because it looks like it's about to solidify. The career that you've got is about to solidify as Saturn makes through the fourth house of in Pisces, opposes the 10th, squares natal Mercury. It's going to come with a little bit of tension. Let me see. Where is our girl Annie at? For clarity. I think one of the things that you're going to want to focus on is especially because of Pluto's movement into Aquarius, you're going to want to focus on where your power is. One of the challenges you're going to run into here with this type of placement is just a sense of feeling like you have to do what you're doing now for either money purposes or for like security purposes. And this is a season that you're going through with, Saturn trine your moon, where you're going to build a lot of security and a lot of foundation. Things are going to get better. They are going to be fun again, but this is going to be a period of time that's just maybe a bit more work, a bit more kind of like doing what you have to do. Like we all love the kind of like do what you love and the money will follow messages. If you are, a human design person, maybe you've heard about being a projector or a generator and like waiting for invitation or like waiting to respond. Sometimes you just got to roll up your sleeves and hustle. You just got to do what you got to do. And you, Annie, are in one of those periods of time where you just got to do what you got to do. It looks like it's for security reasons. God's trying to bring you greater security through this, trying to get you to a place where money is not an issue or not a challenge, trying to get you to a place where your home is secure, and you are in a place that is going to be safe for you in um, the upcoming changes for the collective, because there's still a lot of changes for the collective, but God's trying to get you to a place of safety within that. So you can kind of sit back and watch because there's some security for you. You're not caught up in some of the melee and the maelstrom. And there's also a bit of like really recognizing your power, like, okay, this is going to be temporary. I just need to take this step to get to the next step. And so there needs to be a level of recognizing that there's a next step for you, that this isn't it, but there's going to be something after this. And you just need to use this as leverage to get to the next one. Okay. But yeah, let me go back to see. Yeah. Clarity is understanding that this is temporary and it's a stepping stone, and to just work this stepping stone, right? Um, it's just going to get you to where the next thing is. And you probably even felt that. I see you have a lot of intuition in your chart. Annie, you probably even know, like when you started this path or this, like this is going to be a stepping stone. Lean into that. Understand the temper, like what it's supposed to do for you, and make sure it does that as quickly as possible so you can get to the next thing. Okay. Um, let me know how that resonates, Annie. We're going to do Jolyn next. And then we'll do Pink Skies. I saw your payment come through, Pink Skies. So after Jolyn, we'll do Pink Skies. And then if you want to get on the list, you can be next. Just need to come over here. There's a PayPal link up here. You make your payment there. And that's how you get on the list, 33.33 USD. And then I'll read for you after I read for Pink Skies and Jolyn. Okay. So we're going to see Jolyn's question here. Welcome, Pink Skies. Jolyn G. Where is Jolyn? MJ, I don't think I have a payment from you, my love. So whenever you're ready to drop your payment, I can add you to the list, MJ. Okay. But we're gonna do Jolyn and then Pink Skies. Okay, MJX. Yeah. Just whenever you're ready to drop your payment, MJX, I can add you to the list. Okay. Shay Aria says, oh, MJX is Jolyn. Okay, got it. I'm glad you clarified, because no way for me to know that. Okay. MJX says Canada, Halifax. MJX says 12:15. Hey, happy belated birthday. 6:12 p.m. Nice. All right. Let me get the timer piece together. Pink Skies, if you would get your question ready like MJX did. Pink Skies, get your question ready to paste when I call your name. That would be perfect. Okay. Talk about North Node and what all the opposing planets mean 100%. There's a few different things going on here. So with your North Node in Cancer, North Node in the way that I read, I don't read the way a lot of astrologers read. They'll say it's purpose, they'll say it's destiny, they'll say it's about your career. I've never been shown that in my astrological training. I've always been shown that the North Node is about your lesson in this lifetime. And so whatever it is you're here to learn in this lifetime, that North Node tells us what it is by the sign in the house it rests in. For you, it's emotions, it's family, it's emotional truth and integrity, emotional wholeness. but it is also about your intuition and trusting what your feelings give you. Trusting the information they provide. Now, you do have Venus conjunct the South Node, Merc conjunct the South Node, Ceres conjunct the South Node, Moon conjunct the South Node. You could even somewhat say Neptune, but we're not going to go out that far. Okay. When you have a series of planets conjunct the South Node in this kind of way, what I have been shown is that they are navigational tools. You're bringing in intel from previous incarnations to help you navigate your way through this lifetime. Now, on the one hand, the insight and the intel is tremendously supportive, because if you're learning something that has been either a challenge for you in previous lifetimes, or you're learning something that requires a level of mastery in order to be of service once you've learned it, bringing this other information in with you is going to help you. You're bringing in consciousness. You're bringing in the way that you love and your understanding of love and connectivity. You're bringing in your understanding of seasonality and cyclicality, of cycles. These things are coming with you into this lifetime and helping you navigate and get to the learning of your lesson, but also be of service to the other humans here on Earth. I always say, if you're here on Earth, you're here for both the lessons and the leadership. You can't be here for one without the other. If you're here, you've got both. You've got lessons, you've also got leadership that you're here to give to other people. And so you are going to provide a certain level of leadership while you're learning this lesson, but most of that leadership is going to come through these South Node placements. Okay. Now, the other thing that I'll say is that when you have these kinds of placements, especially Venus conjunct the South Node, tends to be that in this lifetime, there's some love stuff, unfinished business in love that you're going to finish in this lifetime with people you've known from other incarnations. So you may notice that when you get into love situations that are like really the thing for you, not just kind of passing dates, that they all seem to have some sort of past life theme, past life connection for you, where you feel like you've known the person before. The people you're most drawn to are people you already feel like you've known for a long period of time. It's not going to be uncommon in this lifetime for you. Venus conjunct the South Node is an unfinished business placement. You're just here to wrap up or continue or to take to the next level whatever you and people were working on in preceding lifetimes. The Mercury conjunct the South Node is a level of consciousness or way of thinking that you're bringing in that you will apply in this lifetime. It's one of the things that allows a person to be massively intuitive. It provides the gift of retrocognition, especially because Mercury is the ruler of your 12th house. You could look at history books or see documentaries and just know the truth about whether or not something is being retold accurately. You have the gift of knowing about the past in ways that you don't know how you know, you don't know why you just know. That's Mercury conjunct the South Node. And again, it's a special way of visioning or looking that will support you both in your service work and in your growth in this lifetime. So it's not all bad when you've got stuff connected to the South Node. Some astrologers will say it is. I just don't see it that way. I haven't experienced it that way. I too have a large South Node stellium that includes some personal planets, and the guidance I was given about it is just that it's a supportive thing, but it's because there's a continuation. It's almost like a thread from a previous lifetime is like a sequel. Like this is a sequel kind of lifetime for you. Okay. All right, a lot of things happening sequentially. That's not what I meant to do. Come back, screen. So that's what I have, MJX. Hopefully that provides some resonance and guidance for you. We're going to do pink skies next. Pink skies, if you would paste your question and birth details. And then if you're watching, welcome. Awesome to have you. Happy New Year. I love being here and able to do this stuff with y'all. if you have questions that you feel are a bit more private, you don't want them on YouTube, you can always book a reading with me over at kmoonastro.com. There are some 30-minute readings available right around the middle of the month. And we can talk privately if you need to deeper dive on something that we discussed. From your mini reading, private reading is available. And simultaneously, if you just have a singular question, I can look at your chart, explain something in your chart that you may have always had questions about. I can also look at the transits upcoming for this year. If you've got questions about love or relocation or launch or a move or a job or a career. If you got questions about family, like what is up? This is the way it's always been with me and my dad. Why is it like this and how do I work with it? Questions about your mom, your sibling, or your children, bring them on. All of that is in your chart. I can illuminate it for you in a single question mini read. Just it's a single question is all. Okay, so now we're going to read for pink skies. Thank you for being ready when I called your name. Pink Skies is from Anderson, Indiana. November 11th, 1981. Happy belated birthday, Sagittarius, 2:15 p.m. Oh, Scorpio. Okay. Happy belated birthday, Scorpio. So November 11th, 81, 2:15 p.m. Anderson. Okay. If you would like to jump on the list, you would be next. Great to have you. Happy New Year. Been divorced for over 6 years, had one brief relationship since. Let me see what's going on here. Okay. I want a relationship, but I don't want to actively search. Do I have to, or will he just show up? You're so cute, Pink Skies. You know you got to leave your house if you want love to show up for you. You can't just be holed up in your house. But searching can happen in a lot of different ways, right? So let's talk about your ways of looking. Your fifth house of dating and flirtation is governed by Cancer, which deals with family and emotions. So definitely showing up to any family gatherings that you get invited to by extended family, weddings, funerals, graduations, baby showers, and just letting family know whether you go to events or chat with them over the phone, you're looking, you're open. Yeah, you'd love to be remarried. You definitely want a relationship. Introductions can come through the family for you. Let's look at your Venus sign, Capricorn. It's likely as well that you could meet someone through work-related things. Yeah, especially because the sign that governs service is the sign that governs your seventh house. So for you, anything related to volunteering or work, you could meet somebody through those outlets and avenues. But like I told somebody earlier on this stream, it'll be really good for you to pay attention to where you're doing the service and making sure that you're giving it because you need it to serve a dual purpose. Like be in service or work around people, go to conferences with people for your work where there's eligible dating opportunities for you, right? If you happen to date women, do not go to work conferences where it's going to be all men. That's a surefire way to not meet women, right? Go to work conferences where there are going to be other women, right? If you like to volunteer, but the volunteer job is at home and on your computer, you're not going to meet anybody. You got to go out. You do have to search, but it doesn't need to be a dating app. You just need to put yourself in venues where people can be met. For you, it looks like work. It looks like service and volunteering. It looks like you can meet people through family. You just see your Scorpio, Juno there. Another place where you have potential to meet people is through educational settings with that ninth house or on travel, like on holiday, especially if you're the type of person to do these kind of personal growth and development retreats and weekends. Again, make sure your demographic of person you'd like to date is there. Okay. Um, but yeah, like doing that kind of like learning excursions or, meet your shadow self retreats. Like you could totally find a love interest at these kinds of settings for you. Okay. Um, but these are the ways that I would recommend based on your personal chart that you search. Um, you can't be holed up in your bed watching Netflix, hoping the man's gonna come knock at your door since you said he. You actually, like all of us, need to get out there and meet people. Okay. So that's what I would say for you. One thing I would also say is be wary of love triangles, beware of love triangles. It is possible. I see in your chart the potential for married people to show a lot of interest in you. And then you just get yourself in some secret love nonsense that takes years off of your life. Don't just the minute they tell you they're married, I don't care how interested they are, just walk the other way. Because I see that that can really burn you and turn you off of relationships for longer than you take you out of the game for longer than you need to be, pink skies. Okay. You can skip that. But I do see that married people, for married men in particular, seem to like you. So just beware of that. Okay. Um, Let me see. Now, Kylie had a community question about the Olympics. If you want to get on the list, you can. The list is definitely open. I'd be happy to read for you. We're going to go for a little while longer. That's the way you got on the list. If you are just joining, welcome. It is my pleasure to be here with you guys. Um, Single question mini reads. Make your payment, 33.33 USD to PayPal, and then I will pull up your chart, answer your question. You can ask whatever you want. If you have a question that you feel is a little bit more private, you don't want to ask publicly, my calendar is open and I can read for you sometime in the next 10 to 14 days. I believe there's some space on my calendar for that. Would be really good to jump on there now because there's a lot of changes coming in the month of February that I did not talk about yet. It's going to be a little rocky, but it's ultimately going to be to our benefit and serve us. So definitely want to get out in front of that, especially if you know you have important things scheduled for that period of time. I think somebody mentioned she had like a divorce proceeding. Good luck. I'm sure it'll go great. Um, just intend for the highest possible outcomes for everyone involved. But if you have important stuff scheduled for February, now is a really good time to get on my calendar. Okay, so let's answer Kylie's community question about the Olympics. So they open on Friday, July 26th. And we are talking about Seven 26, 2024. Do a sunrise chart. Let me come back to the chat. Just gonna refresh to make sure I'm current with you guys. Okay. Oh, and actually, let me see the chart of Paris itself. Uh-uh. 259 BC. Okay, so it was Christianized in the 3rd century. Let's just see something here, because sometimes you can tell more when you look at a city's date. Paris, 4th century. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see if there's any collective intel. Astrology of the city of Paris. Mm-mm-mm. Let's just see, what are they using? Now, why would you call it? Oh, that's Paris Hilton. Whoops. Um, Paris, France, astrology. Let's just see what we have going on here. July 14th, 1789, the time of the French Revolution. Okay, that makes sense. I see why they chose the French Revolution. Okay, we'll work with that chart. Let me see. Edit. 14, 1789. Okay. All right, Kylie, we're going to come back to this because I got a couple of payments in, but we will come back to this. This should be very interesting. Oh, yeah, I already see some interesting stuff. We will come back to that. All right, so payment came in from, in this order, okay, Ja Overtomb. Ja Overtomb, it is your turn. Pink Sky says, thank you. My previous relationships have been with men that I have known for a long time through friend groups or work. I definitely cannot do the dating apps. Yeah, you don't have to. There's other ways to meet people, right? Um, okay, got it, Motrevo. Got it. Um, let's see, May 27th, Morristown, New Jersey. Five 27. We had a lot of May people come through here today. A lot of people born in May, both Gemini and Taurus. 3:18 a.m. Morristown, New Jersey. 3:18 a.m. 5:27. Okay, cool. All right, let's have a look. I opened a diner. I set the timer. And welcome in. If you're just joining, you can jump on the list. I would be reading for you as soon as I finish reading for Ja Overtune. It would be really fun to read for you. Okay, let me set the timer. Let's see. I opened a diner 3 months ago in LA. Woo! What are the business startup prospects looking like in 2024? I want to come visit your diner in LA. I would love to. Drop the name in the link. Go ahead, mark it, put it in the chat so we can see. We want to come. There's some people who live in California here. Let us know. We'll come support it. Okay, so looking really good. I like this for you. It looks like, okay, so something in the spring when Jupiter and Uranus meet up at that 21st degree there, it'll impact that house of earned income. Jupiter is the ruler of that ninth house of publicity. So it looks like you do some sort of wavy grab. Okay, great. Looks like you do some sort of marketing, or like you get interviewed, or like you do like the interview circuit of like morning shows or something where you live. And that gets you a ton of visibility and publicity. And then from there, the money just takes off. It looks like you have a very good birthday this year financially, which is so awesome. I love to be able to report that. Um, that conjunction, that period, April 21st through May 31st, is just going to be littered with a ton of visibility for you. Wavy Gravy Cafe Diner, Highland Park. Thank you. Um, so yeah, this is going to be really, really good for you. Like I said, you're going to need to take some action to like be visible. Now I know for a fact, because I used to have to do this myself and advise clients to do this when I was a business coach. The news networks, local news networks, are always looking for news stories. They have to find new content. So too do local newspapers. They have to find new content. Your content could be their new content, interviewing you, learning about how the restaurant opened, what you have on menu. Where I live, I subscribe to my local news networks on YouTube, and that's how I find out about new restaurants. And I have a whole list of new restaurants that I have gone to and want to go to where I live, simply because I heard about them from the local news network. I wouldn't have passed them by on the street otherwise. So I strongly recommend that you take some action, um, to make yourself visible in these places that are really looking for content. There's a lot of places, you might find like a PR person that you work with, maybe just for the first quarter of this year that you hire. Money could be tight if you're just starting out. You can reach out on your own with a little small press kit, right? And you can Google how to make a press kit or how to submit to local news networks, or go to the local news network's website and see where their submissions area is and just submit your business. It looks like, because this is so much activity that involves Jupiter, which governs PR and marketing, and then your money takes off right after that, I would harness that and just get your mouth moving as much as possible about your business. But it does look like, as long as you're able to do that, man, oh man, your money looks to be the best you've ever had. It also looks like, if you're able to, kind of, if you've got investors, it looks like this spring you're going to be able to pay a significant amount of their money back. Because a lot of money looks like it will come in for you. So congratulations. I'm really excited for you. This is awesome. Everything has a veggie option. I am pescatarian. Yo, so Mutrevo, that I was actually told this year, like just in my intuition and my guidance, like that I needed to try going pescatarian. Um, let's go spy on Wavy Gravy, shall we, y'all? Until somebody makes the next payment. Wavy Gravy, Highland Park. If you're just joining and you'd like to get on the list, you can. We're just checking out Wavy Gravy Cafe here that just opened up in LA, by Mutrevo. Ooh, bringing you good food and good waves. I love it. Everything looks okay. Yes, I would eat that. Breakfast, that looks so good. Yum. Yum. Okay. Look at the cute outside. I love that. Yeah, definitely get yourself some PR. It's worth a while investment. It's a very worthwhile investment. And maybe reach out to some of the food review people, some food bloggers, and offer them like to come in for lunch. And if they're willing to do a review, you're willing to give them lunch. Some of the local food bloggers, because again, that ninth house is written word. as well. So all day breakfast. I love it. You got burritos and tacos. You got pie. That is right up my alley. I love it. You're doing the poutine. So good. Shrimp with lobster sauce poutine? What? And your prices are reasonable in a way that I wouldn't have expected for Los Angeles. Holy cow. All right. Um, your spring looks great. Just make sure you do the things about, just make sure you do the marketing and you're going to be good to go. Okay. See what your specials are. We got a special burger. I love it. Really nice. Good for you. Congratulations, Mutrevo. Everything looks delicious. Awesome. And you do online pickup and delivery and sourdough pancakes, which is amazing. Good stuff. Accepting applications. If you can put right next to this, for food blogger luncheon, click here and they can just email you to sign up for a luncheon for their food blog. That'd be great. But just make sure they actually have a blog. You know what I'm saying? I'll just be giving out free lunch. All right. Well done. Congratulations, Mutrevo. You're welcome. I want to create a community diner that everyone can afford and be comfortable. Well, hey, it looks like you're doing it. So congrats. Really well done. Amazing. All right. So if you want to jump on the list, you can. It would be your turn next. We're taking some recreational time here because there's no one on the list. But if you'd like me to read for you, I would love it. I can look at anything regarding your business. I can look at stuff regarding your family or your home or your career or your love life. We could look at what's coming. If you need an explanation of things that happened in your past, we can do that. If you're just trying to understand certain things about your chart and you have questions about your chart and what it means or the light and the shadow, happy to look at that for you as well. The list is wide open, nobody on it. You would be next. Let's have a look at these Paris Olympics. So here's Paris, and then the dates for the Olympics is Friday, July 26th. Let's have a look. Let's see how this is going to go. Now, something that stood out to me that's very interesting is the year of the French Revolution. Jupiter and Uranus came together in Leo, the sign of the king. We all know what happened to Marie Antoinette's head that year. So, this year we have Jupiter and Uranus meeting up again, but they will meet up in the sign of Taurus. They'll meet up over here. Okay. And Venus was involved when they met up. So it was, revolution for sure. What's also interesting is that this year in particular, Pluto will move into the sign of Aquarius. 248 years ago, the last time Pluto was in Aquarius, just want to show y'all how I do my astrological research here. And so you'll find this interesting. 2023 minus 248 years, 1775. What do we know about the years 1775 and 6? Major events. The Declaration of Independence was signed in 1776, and we had the American Revolution in 1775. It was a big deal, people, and now we have Pluto in Aquarius again, and the United States is interestingly placed when it comes to its ideas about a revolution at this moment. So, yeah, we've got Jupiter and Uranus meeting up the same way they did when Paris had their revolution. We've got Pluto jumping into Aquarius the same way it did at the first American Revolution. It's going to be an interesting year, y'all. It is going to be interesting. So I think it's going to be good ultimately, but there's still a lot of change unfolding for all of us in the collective at this period of time. I think I remember saying in a recent lunar update that the vibe of this period of time is very MC Escher. These MC Escher paintings that are a little bit mind bending, where it's like one thing turns into another thing. He has this one called Relativity. Okay, now it just keeps getting smaller every time I click on it. That's not constructive. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so in this drawing, you can see like the floor is the ceiling, the walls are the floor. You think you're walking upstairs, but you're walking through a wall. Like it's a really interesting, like this is what collectively astrologically things kind of look and feel like right now. Like you think you're going in one direction, but it's actually you're going in a completely, like the walls are kind of moving, so to speak. The style of art is surrealism, and you could say 2023 and 24 is surreal. It's been a surreal period of time where it's just like everything is kind of changing and transforming while we individually are changing and transforming as well. Here's another surrealist painting from MC Escher. It's like, well, first we're dealing with fields, but the fields turn into these birds. Like it's trippy in that kind of way. And that's what we're all kind of dealing with right now with the astrological weather. So expect that it's been a lot of change. It will continue to be more change as we get through the mid 2020s. But ultimately, the change is going to put collectively all of us in a much better place. So now let's look at July 26th, these Paris Games. Thank you for the collective question, Kylie. It was a great collective ask. And if anyone else has a collective question, I'm happy to have a look at it before we wrap up here. And if you want to get on the list, now is a great time to do so. So let's see. The games are going to bring a lot of visibility to the city of Paris. Visibility for anything is always the midheaven. We'll see Chiron at that place there. I do think that there will be some level of kind of like rectification. No, Kylie, stay off them drugs. Of Paris's reputation throughout this process. There'll be like a rehabilitation of Paris. Paris is one of the cities in Europe that has been really hard hit by their own migrant crisis as well. And so, we're going to start to see some of maybe a little bit of like the dirty underbelly of Parisian politics, some of the secrets around like, the way, Paris treats its people. All of that is going to start to come to surface, come to light for all of us to kind of all be able to see. And it'll also be a period of time where Paris's reputation will get a bit reconstructed through the process of hosting the Olympics. It'll be a bit like a how do you call it, like a reputation rehabilitation for them in certain ways, where there's going to be things that like it's going to be the kind of thing where people will either come to love or hate Paris if they knew nothing about it, because it's not going to be able to hide who and what it really is with Chiron sitting in this position. So it'll be interesting. It'll be really interesting. definitely looks like the kind of thing that financially is going to be really good for the city. Jupiter here in the 11th house of friendships, we'll see a lot of friends and allies support the city in allowing it to really shine at its best. We see Mars here. Mars governs athletes as well in that house of hopes, wishes, and dreams. And Gemini, so the sign of communication and the press. So we're going to see a lot of like visible type of coverage that we probably haven't seen before when it comes to this Olympic Games. We'll start to see some things in terms of visibility, in terms of coverage that we haven't seen before, which will be interesting that we get that a little bit more behind the scenes kind of made public. There will probably be a lot of like public kind of Olympic TikTok related accounts. That'll be new. TikTok is more of a Gemini kind of thing, like short form communication. We'll see a lot of that. And right at this time, we'll also see Paris in its Saturn return year. And so we're going to, like I said, we're really going to be able to see the city and like for all it is and for all it ain't. It ain't going to be able to hide it or make something up or like cover stuff up. And that, it's like in that way, people will come to love or hate the city, right? Um, I do see, let's go forward in time just a little bit. Um, I mean, the reality, Kylie, is that everyone has a lot of controversies right now. Like every major city and major country, like there's no one escaping this season of controversy, right? In particular, us in the United States. Like it is messy over here. So, I was just talking to somebody from South Africa the other day, and she was explaining how, there's a lot of talent, like tech talent, leaving South Africa because of the way that, like the infrastructure hasn't kept up with the ability for people to have careers that are competitive on the world stage. So a lot of, software engineers, they're all leaving. They had this thing there called load shedding, where they literally cut the power off to conserve it. For some reason, they're not producing enough power to power the country and the country's growth. So people are like literally without electricity for a day or more at a time at times. And it wasn't this bad before 2020. So, like, listen, the reality of this kind of moment throughout the 2020s, as Pluto is inching into Aquarius, everybody's ass is hanging out. Everybody is being shown for precisely kind of like, here's what's working and here's what's not. And it's an opportunity for rectification, global rectification, in politics, in finance, in government, in education, in healthcare. Um, we're getting front row seats at the moment to this kind of like situation where the Israeli government has declared war on Hamas, but is actually killing a lot of Palestinian people who are not part of the Hamas organization. Even the United States, who is traditionally Israel's ally, is going, maybe you could rein it back a little bit. This is a little harsh even for you. Um, like we're seeing this kind of like exposure of things that it was like, whoa, I didn't know that was going on in the music industry. That artist P. Diddy, like we're seeing this exposure of all of his secrets and dirt in the past. We're going to continue to see a lot of exposing going on. And the Paris Olympics are going to have something quite similar in terms of thematics when it comes to probably some of the way the athletes are getting treated and housed. We'll see this Mercury retrograde bring certain information to light around the health and well-being of the athletes, maybe some of their training. We'll get some expose of where things maybe aren't the healthiest for them. We'll start to see some of that. We've certainly seen that at other Olympics as well. Like the Olympic housing for the athletes is like garbage. um, we'll see some of that here, but I think more than anything, globally, we're in this moment of like level setting, like reconciling. As the Industrial Revolution took off, in 1800s, we saw more and more manufacturing take off. At that time, the quality of life for people um, was still pretty low until we got to like the height of the Industrial Revolution. Well, now we're kind of at the advent of the tech revolution, the technology revolution with the internet in 2000, and then, kind of moving into the age of social media in the 20 teens. And now the advent of AI and AI's work, that's definitely something that this Pluto Aquarius thing is going to have us deal with very heavily next year. Power and technology. Technology is Aquarius. Um, the gap, and I think this is what got exposed at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, the gap between the wealthy and those who lived in poverty and their access to resources that the Industrial Revolution brought forward for all humanity gets exposed. The same exposure is about to unfold now, is already unfolding now, these gaps between the haves and the have-nots. What's different about this time is that with Pluto moving into Aquarius at this time, Aquarius governs revolutions, it governs people, Aquarius governs unions as well. And where Pluto goes, power flows and follows. So if there are protests that happen to show up at the Paris Revolution, and this is culturally something Parisians are quite proud of, that they have a protest culture where people they can take their voices to the street and shut down traffic to bring issues to light that need government attention and intervention. um I think we're going to see some of that happen as well, during these Olympics. As this Pluto gets into Aquarius, we're going to see two things. A lot of, kind of this being an opportunity for the global issues that we're not dealing with, to help people, are going to start to surface over the course of these Parisian Olympics. You'll see, rights groups really, stage protests or look for airtime. But then simultaneously, I think we're also going to see the Parisian government try to shut some of that down, to keep traffic moving, to stay on top of, waste management in a city. Paris isn't that big. So for it to host an event like this, like you got to have the facilities available to handle the caliber of people. And it's going to be a lot of people. I think we're going to see the limitations of that city and its capacity to hold and maintain order with that number of people, and try to, like I said, like shut down anything that would cause stoppage of work, traffic, movement, people, food, like anything that would interrupt that. I think we'll see the government try to keep a tight rein on those types of disruptions so that the city doesn't go into total chaos and mayhem. So, you're right to notice there's a lot of controversy going on, but that's not exclusive or limited to Paris. That's a global issue as Pluto is moving into Aquarius, and there's much exposure of where there has been unfairness and injustice. We certainly see Aquarius really deal with and govern fairness, equality, justice. These are core principles and values to Aquarian people. So as Pluto jumps into that sign, it's going to become part of the collective zeitgeist to figure out how to be more fair, more just, more equitable as a society at large. So That's what I got on that, and how the role the Paris Olympics will play in that collective conversation. Great question, Kylie. Thank you for inviting me to answer it. I love those kinds of collection questions about the collective and kind of where collective energies are headed. I'd really like to do more of that on the K Moon YouTube channel on a regular basis. But I'm really curious what you guys think of that, if you like that kind of conversation, or if you would prefer less of that, all of that, I'm really curious what you guys think of this kind of conversation being over on the K Moon YouTube channel, where we can kind of just get together, talk about politics, talk about current events, look at different charts for different things, have more of a community conversation about stuff. Let me know what you think. Um, Yeah. Shiaria, you just need to make another payment to do another question. But Shiaria, yeah, you can totally ask another question. Kylie says, well, they were never fond of America and now they're messing with Mother Nature. Well, I mean, the reality, Kylie, is so are we too. We also are messing with Mother Nature. I mean, the abuses to, like, we lost so many land rights in the last 4 years, like protected lands on like community parks, reservations for Native American people, protected wildlife sanctuaries. Like a lot of that, we lost a lot of that from between 2018 and now. So, that we are equally culpable in the messing with Mother Nature. And I'm not surprised that Mother Nature is responding in kind. Like shark attacks are on the rise, tornadoes, hurricanes are on the rise, all of that. Tsunamis are on the rise. Like, I don't know why we think we can just do what we want to the earth and the earth will not respond. That's right. Protect the seas. It's really important for us. So, great question. I'd love to know what you guys think about having these kind of questions on the K Moon YouTube channel. Please feel free to drop me a comment and let me know. Shiaria says, is a love relationship not in my incarnation this time? I can't answer that without your chart. If you want to talk about love, we need to do a whole different reading, Shiaria. I don't even have your chart saved, hon. Love is my identity, love for humanity, children, and being in love was imprinted on my heart since I was a child. I can honestly say that if you want to have love, you can without even looking at your chart. I have yet in my lifetime of reading to see a singular chart where a person was meant to live a monastic life. If you're guided to live a monastic life, you can absolutely have one. But if you want love, love you shall have. I've never seen a life that's just like, okay, that's all you get no love. Mm-mm. So, but if you want to take a deeper look at this, we absolutely can. You just need to drop another payment for another reading. Okay. Okay. You were crying over the beta fish, Kylie. Aw. I hear you. I hear you, girl. I hear you. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to see the stuff that we're seeing at this moment in time. Because I think one of the issues that we're all kind of reckoning with collectively, I think they're fascinating too, Jennifer. Thank you for letting me know. One of the issues that we're all kind of reckoning with collectively is, um, you know, what this is happening, but what can I do? Right? Like, I see this is happening. I don't like it. It's not, I don't want to go to war, but clearly my government does. But what can I, individual me, do? And I think as Pluto gets more and more into Aquarius, we're going to find that people are starting to figure out what the answer to that question is for themselves, where their power is to impact and influence the collective. So it's going to be an exciting period of time. really exciting. Next year, the following, like these mid 2020s are going to be radically transforming for all of us here on Earth in just about every way. I got a download the other day that we would be getting AI companions before the end of my lifetime, that people would have a like a pet, but instead of it being a pet, um, it would be like what they call a companion, like the way we have like a phone or a computer, and it's just ours and it helps us navigate life. We're going to move into an era before I leave Earth where people will have a robot AI, you know, artificially intelligent companion. And that companion will go everywhere with them. It'll go to the grocery store and load groceries. It will clean their house. The companion will, you know, maybe manage household finances if you've programmed it with certain programs to do that. The companion will, like, you know, go with old people to their doctor's appointments and open doors for them, or make sure that they're safe crossing the street if they don't have very good eyesight or vision. That AI companion will do things like certain programs for them will like prepare food. If you need, you know, someone to cook for you, the AI companion can do that. Frankly, I just want my AI companion to put the duvet cover back on the freaking comforter because it's such a pain to have to do that. Um, but yeah, I got this like download and vision. I was shown, I was like, everyone will get an AI companion. It'll be part of the way they live life, and it'll be just normal. Like it's normal to have a phone or a computer to have an AI companion. Um, and they'll make all of our lives easier in so many different ways. They'll carry suitcases and luggage and um, yeah, like I said, all the stuff in your house that you would rather not have to do. I was shown that we'd have companions for that. And they would also like go with us out in the world um, to kind of navigate the third dimension. And people would have more time with their companions, some people, not all, than with other humans. So it'll be an interesting period of time. Like I said, expect big changes in the next several years. Big changes. Okay, beloveds. Well, if nobody wants to get a reading, we're going to stop here. It was a lot of fun to do this with you guys today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, for letting me read for you, for asking such good questions, for being so supportive of one another, and supportive in the chat. If you'd like to book a reading with me, Kylie just put the link in the chat, kmoonastro.com. You can book with me there. I have some time available coming up. Let me just tell you what's next available in my calendar. Show me the week. Show me today. Next available. Yeah, next Thursday. I have time available next Thursday. If anybody wants to book a reading, you can definitely do that, and we'll be able to read together then. So nice and easy. It's a lot of fun. You come back to the chat and just see what you guys are saying before I head out. Okay. You clarified it, but I will get a private reading. Good, Sharia. Good. Glad I could clarify and bring some comfort and validation there. All right. Awesome. There's a girl named Ocean on YouTube and she swims with sharks. Aw. Well, hopefully that is remains safe for her and that she's bringing awareness to ocean conservancy efforts. Kylie, did you want me to take a look at your chart before I wrap up? Do you have any questions you want me to look at for you personally? That's my dog's name. Oh, that's sweet. I love that. I think collectively it was the same money-wise as everyone else when it starts to change. Okay. Let me share a screen. No, it's not too late, Jennifer. If you have a question, just make your payment and um I can do I can take your question, Jennifer. That's fine. I don't mind. I had originally planned to be here from 2 to 6, I think. So, but there's just, I think people are just kind of figuring out how to start their week after a holiday Monday. So, Kylie, what is your birth details? And Jennifer, go ahead and make your payment. I'd be happy to read for you, hon. Okay, cool, Jennifer. Okay, Jennifer, I got you. Illinois, Keegan, 326, 1996, 2:15 a.m. Okay. So Kylie wants to know like when her money is going to change, what's going on with money for her. So we will have a look at that. Set that timer. Okay, so your financial house is Pisces governed, your earned income house, and that is Neptune and Jupiter, and they sit here at the tail end of Capricorn. Okay, so it's been rocky, as you know, because Pluto has been dancing back and forth on top of that Neptune, preparing to go into Aquarius and usher in a completely new way of making money for you than you've made money before. There's also been a lot of rockiness career-wise because Pluto governs Scorpio. Wherever Scorpio sits in a person's chart at this time is undergoing massive change, growth, and transformation. Out with the old, in with the new. Three-part cycle: death, integration, rebirth, resurrection. And so, because of this, whatever path you have been on when it comes to career, probably since 2020, I would say has probably been a little bit shaky. because there's a real shifting that needs to happen when it comes to what are you going to be doing career-wise next. There's a new chapter opening up. Thank God you're on the rebirth side, but there needs to be some deeper querying on your side about, okay, what do I want? How do I want it? And what do I need to do to get it? Those are the three questions you need to ask yourself when it comes to your career path. What do I want? How do I need to go about getting it? And what's it going to take to get it? And how do I want to go about that? So with this for you, because of the way that Venus is going to get struck by this particular uh Jupiter Juno conjunction, sorry, Jupiter Uranus conjunction this coming year. Your Venus is at the 21st degree, Jupiter and Uranus are at the 21st degree. Venus governs your ninth house of higher education. And you've had the South Node just join in here. I think you're about to move into a season. You've got an inverse nodal return going on. This is a season of retrieval. I think you're going to be asked to go back to school, hun. Um, Go back to school, retool, get some new skills in a field that can work for you. And then from there, it's like not just your career, but also your money takes off in a completely new direction. Anytime I've seen this Scorpio midheaven, or the Capricorn midheaven at this point, whatever it was you were doing, whatever it was you were trained for, whatever it was you went to school for, that chapter, that season is over. And it's not even just a job change. It's an entire career and industry change altogether, because of the way Pluto is leaving one sign and moving to the next. So um, Kylie says, yeah, I've had that inkling. So yeah, it looks like there's going to be some opportunity to do that this year. You're going to see some opening, but it is going to be necessary for you to get some certainty for yourself. What is it that I want to do? I also think, let me go back to your natal chart and just see the way you're set up. Cardinal. Yeah. Have a lot of cardinal energy. It's going to be easy for you to work for yourself in this lifetime. Kylie, you have the kind of chart because you have Jupiter sitting in Capricorn. Whatever you put your hand to with any like real effort has the ability to be yours. And in terms of what it is you do or start or build, like you have the ability to be successful at whatever it is you want to do. It's just a matter of figuring out the answer to the question, what do you want? And then moving, like, rather than like, what can I have? You need to answer the question, what do I want? Because there's lots of shit that's havable, but the reason why the havable doesn't stick and stay is because it's not written on your heart. It's not what you and God decided upon before you got here. Your interior desire mechanism, the ambitions that are there, that's what God wrote there. That's what you and him decided is what you can do. So, and what you are going to do, you need to get in touch with that for yourself. And that Jupiter Uranus conjunction as well, sitting on top of Venus, which is all about our desires and the sign of desires. It looks like you're going to have to go back to the drawing board for yourself and really look inside and go, okay, what's the truth to the answer to this question? You're going to come up with all kinds of reasons and excuses about why you can't have it. We all do. That's normal. You can't have it because you're this, because you're that, because you never did this, because you went through that. That's gonna be right there, and it might even be louder than the desire. But you're gonna have to stick to, cling to, grab onto with both hands and immerse yourself in the desire so that you can carve out ways to start to have that. That inverse nodal return is trying to get you into a place where you have that faith in yourself. This ninth house is also faith. It's raw potential, but that belief in yourself that you can do it, you can have it, but it's going to take you leaning into the belief about it instead of just trying to go for what's havable, go for what you want. And then from there, doors seem to really open up. Okay. But yeah, the money thing, I see why it's shifting, but all of this shifting, shakiness, this like shifting sands underneath your feet, it's meant to help you get clarity of vision, so that you're not just going for what's havable, but instead you're going for, what is true to you. Because once, listen, the amount of Aries energy you have in this chart, this Aries stellium you have going on, hun, for you, once you've decided on what you actually want, there's no deterring you. That's Aries. But hitting walls like this is a function of kind of just being in the space and the shape of what's havable. And what's havable being taken away because it wasn't yours really to begin with. You need to find what's yours. And then potentially, based on what I'm seeing here, go back to school to do some retooling. Okay. Great stuff, Kylie. Thank you for letting me read for you. You got this. Trust yourself and trust that still small voice inside you that knows the answer to the question, what do I want? I see Jennifer jumped on the list, and so too did Susan I. I'm going to read for Jennifer next, and then I'll read for Susan I. Thank you guys for letting me read for you. Always fun. I love doing that. Okay. Kankakee. Midwest neighbors. Three 30. Ooh, and your birthday sisters too. Look at that. 1882. Birth time 6:30 a.m. Make sure I got it. March 30th, 82, 6:30. Kankakee. Okay, got it. Welcome, Jennifer and Susan. Susan, you'll be next. So get your question ready. And let's see. My current waitressing job. Let me set the timer. My current waitressing job is very challenging, but I'm not sure if I just need to hold on for a bit longer while I am auditioning and writing. Do I need to stay where I am in my survival waitressing job in order to manifest my new beginning in acting and writing? Or do I move to another waitressing job to bring in a new kind of energy? Okay, great question. Let me just see. I think as long as you are, acting and kind of like, needing to be consistently in the auditioning process, which, we've talked about, you're always going to need to have that backup. Okay, I see some of the challenges. It's the people. Um, Jennifer, correct me if I'm wrong. The challenge I'm seeing here is that the people are sometimes heavy and that heaviness gets deposited in your space. And then not only does it make you tired, but it lowers your vibration and your energy. It makes it harder to be in the right mind state when you need to audition, makes it more difficult to look forward to it. Like you're low because the people around you are low. Is that correct? Let me know. Some of this has also been Chiron conjunct your sun. Yeah, you're just picking up a lot of stuff from a lot of people. Where's your moon? Where's your natal Saturn? Yes, the people are extremely heavy. Have I have a lot. I have to do a lot of work to be in a positive mindset. Okay. Okay. So some of this is temporary. Let me just see. There's going to be an exodus of your coworkers. Some of the people, as soon as Pluto gets into Aquarius at the end of this month. All through the holidays, I was crying. Oh, Jennifer. Okay, it's going to get lighter. There's going to be some cleaning house that happens at your job. And by the people, I'm thinking we're talking about your coworkers. Like the customers may be heavy, but it's your coworkers that are like the worst of it. Do I have that right? Um, this is telling me that there's going to be some departures. I don't know if your boss is going to do it. Is your boss going to do it? Or if these people are just going to leave on their own. It could be a combination. But I do see there's some people are about to, by the end of the month of January, mid into mid February, there's going to be a whole new crop of people that come in because of the way Pluto's moving here. And you're going to feel a lot better with the new people who come in because they come in with a lot lighter energy. Some of these heavier people are going to go. So I would hold tight until about the Gemini new moon. Let me get you a date on that. Right around the Gemini new moon is when I would start looking for a new job. Yes, it's the coworkers, alcohol addiction, it's gossip, all of that. Yeah. Um, yeah, okay. So I think it'll be around like 6-5. Yeah, right here. On June 5th, we'll have the Gemini new moon in your second house of earned income. We'll also have Jupiter here jump into that house as well. And so anytime you have Jupiter transit that second house, you get a major up level financially. So I don't know if you get cast in something or you get a new waitressing gig or both. But it looks like if you can sit tight, first of all, the minute Pluto gets into Aquarius, and it will, um, at the end of this month, actually, I think within the next week, you're going to start to see people falling out of the job you've got now. Yeah, I think this is going to be, let me just put out a week from today. Okay, let me get out into, you may even go in for your next shift and see some of these people have already left, like they're just not on the schedule. You'll be like, what happened to so and so? And somebody will tell you, oh, they quit. Yeah, by the time we get to January 21st, there's like fresh air is gonna come in and there's more new people. Um, New people are going to start to come in. Some of the old people are going to fall out. You'll continue to see this turnover in between now and June. I would work it in the way that you can to just stay off the shifts of the shitty people, even if it means they're not your best hours. Because when it comes time to just, turn on that ring light and do that submission, you just don't want that energy anywhere near you. And I do see, like I said, some of those people are going to leave, but by the time we get to this period of time here in the end in May, things start to look significantly better by the end of May, beginning of June. Now, if you can't, like, if you just like, if you know you just need something else like right now, then just go get it. Like you're skilled at waitressing. You've got great recommendations and resume. You worked in some wonderful places. Like you will get snapped up, but just know that there's going to be an even bigger up level that comes in the May, June timeframe. But if it's really fucking up your ability to do what you're here to do, which is act and perform, and you can't find the mindset, the mental state to give a good audition, get out. Just get out and keep it moving. It looks like either way, your year gets better the closer we get to May. And simultaneously, like I said, I think by the end of this month, beginning of February, there's going to be a shakeup in the job you've got, and a whole bunch of other people, whole bunch of some of the problematic people are going to leave because it just looks like the vibe of the job up levels and they're not going to be able to sync up with it. You could get a new boss and they start cleaning house, or some of these people, I don't know what happened. It's just like an up level and the vibration hits, and the people who can't hang at that level leave. So, Susan, yes, you were ready before I even called your name. Thank you, Susan. Appreciate that. Okay. But yeah, if you can't give a good audition while you're there, don't wait. Just get out. It's not worth it. Because that's the one thing as an actress, or like, as any type of performing artist, you just cannot afford, um, you cannot afford to stay where you're miserable, because that misery will be at the heart of everything you give in your auditions. And that's not it. That's not the look. That's not the move. That's not what we're doing. Right. So, um, so 5:45 a.m., 62173, Brooklyn, New York. Got it. Yeah, you can transmute with your writing, Jennifer. You can write stories that'll write them people right the heck on out of there. 100% in your spare time. I mean, that's some master level manifestation techniques right there. But listen, I would get into it. Write them people into jobs where they can be happy, since they're not happy there, and write yourself into jobs where you will be happy. Okay. Let me hit the timer for Sue. Sue says, I've been doing a lot to clear past traumas and open up my heart space in preparation for a partner. Does the chart show potential for them to show up? As a matter of fact, madam, yes, it does. So let's get into it. I really like a few different things for you this year, but the first one is that Jupiter Uranus conjunction will harmoniously aspect your seventh house of commitment from your 11th house of wish fulfillment. Jupiter is expansion and growth. Uranus is quantum leaps forward. Venus is in the mix, and she is all about love and connection. This is going to happen in the position that's right before the ruler of your 12th house. So this is almost going to be like it's preparing you for love to come in. But then what happens after that is really juicy. So let's go and see. You're about to jump into a major love season as Jupiter prepares to connect with your sun. That'll be next year. But this year, there's a lot of fun that can be had. It's all through the springtime with this large stellium in your 11th house of wish fulfillment. You can conjure up, you can manifest, you can call it in. I would go out, say yes to any invitation from friends. That 11th house is friendship and colleagues. Any invitations you get from friends, colleagues, coworkers, to go out socially. It looks like you'll have the opportunity to meet people through social engagements that are friendly in nature. That looks to be about the first really good one. Then as we get closer into your birthday season, I like to see here that we're going to have Venus come across your sun. That's always a great time for love. It brings a lot of magnetism, spotlight, and attention to you each year around the time of your birthday when Venus crosses over your sun. And so you'll be a bit of the belle of the ball for the month. That's so around June. That'll be another great time for love for you. And then let's go forward in time to kind of the late summer. Uh, 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 uh. Okay. You'll have your Venus return. Why is this significant to her? We'll have Mars, Uranus meet up. And they'll square your moon. So late summer, so like July heading into August, things they look a little like sticky, a little like you, I'm gonna be honest, you look a little moody, like you're not sleeping very well. Your intuition could be on fire. You look impatient. Most of the world will be during that period of time, but you in particular look like you're feeling hasty about the options that are getting presented to you. And one of the things that this moment is going to ask you to bring to the table is some patience, for what you're going through, growing through, and the fact that other people around you are going through and growing through different things as well. If I hop into September, we got another great love moment for you as Juno finally wraps up her retrograde in Virgo, but then begins her approach toward Venus. All of that activity in your fifth house, Juno, Venus is going to make another amazing period of time for love, for opening, for softening, for flirting, for meeting people, for dating, for romance. The end of the year looks really good. It's just that late summer part looks like you're ready to kind of be off with their heads with some people you may be dating. Try not to get too impatient. People are growing and changing just like you, Susan. And the more you can just give people some space to grow, the faster they come back more ready. Okay. So, good stuff. It looks like a good year for you. Lots of opportunities. Question really for you is, what are you going to do with the opportunities when they come? Right. Okay, now we're going to read for Ylang. Thank you, Ylang. Great to have you here. Would love to read for you. There is a lot of love stuff going on around here. 24, 25, 26, and 27 are going to be big years for love for people, is what I was shown. And in particular for twins, those who recognize themselves as activated by love in the Divine Counterpart Collective. These years are going to be significant for coming together. So, okay. It is Yelang's turn, so I'm going to read for you, Yelang, and then if you would like to get on the list, if you're listening or just joining, welcome. It's great to have you. I'm probably going to kick it a little bit longer unless there are no more requests for readings. I was planning to be here until 6 o'clock where I live. So that's coming up pretty quickly, but I may end early if there's no more reading requests. So if you've got a reading request, now's the time to jump on the list. I can look at your chart. I can answer questions about, your past, your future, certain goals you have, money, love, friendship, family members, children, timing of things in the past, why it happened the way it did, timing of things in the future, when it might happen, when there's the most supportive energy for it. I can look at some of those major transits I just told you guys about on the main K-Moon YouTube channel and how they'll impact you. But I can also just look at your natal chart and, look at if you have questions about certain things in your natal chart, I can answer those questions too. So whatever you want. If you'd like to get on the list, now is a great time to do it. If you have a question that feels a little bit more personal, totally okay. But the thing to do would be to book a private reading. There's half-hour sessions available with me this upcoming Thursday, next Thursday. So if you want to jump into that, we can. Okay, Canada, Montreal, 4/16, 1977, 6:05 p.m. Okay. Elaine's question Oh, Elaine hasn't posted her question yet. Okay, Elaine, let's have your question, hon. Kylie says there's a boy who likes her who came out of nowhere. I don't know, Kylie, if that's the response. Maybe the response needs to be uh, this one. Let me find it. This one. Maybe that needs to be your response, Kylie. You have good love stuff coming up, I noticed, Kylie. You have really good love stuff coming up. But you got to stop being so suspicious of people who like you. And you got to actually know what you want in your life so that people who also know what they want can be attracted, can be drawn in. Okay, so we'll read for you, Lang. Okay, let me from here. So the timer, successful legal career misaligned with my firm after over 20 years. What does 2024 look like for job career adjustment? I look for something different. Do I look for something different or stay put? It's time, Elaine. This movement of Pluto at the tail end of Capricorn, and impacting your career sector here is telling you it's time to look for something different. You may even consider a different either type of lawyering or law or different, branch or expression of being a lawyer, where previously you might have been a practicing lawyer, you might become an educational lawyer, like educating people. Um, or, you might have practiced, you know, housing law or like real estate law. And now you start to maybe look into something more like, child custody or something. I don't know. It looks like it is time. You are correct. I love that you can recognize that you've had a successful run at it. It was part of the 14-year movement of Pluto through Capricorn. But now you're going to start a new 20-year cycle of Pluto in Aquarius. And so, yeah, it's time to start thinking about something different. Same speciality, but in a different way. You could definitely do that too, 100%. Um, you're one of the people who's going to have a career change, but doesn't actually have to completely leave the industry behind altogether. Unless you want to, you can do that. But I do see there has been a major call with Neptune transiting your natal Mars for you to start to work in more altruistic ways. I see with Jupiter having transited your sun last year, there was a lot of demand for your leadership in your career sector with Leo governing your 10th house. I see that there is not only that, but a tremendous amount of um, demand from the universe to start to make money in some new ways as well. So I don't know if maybe you I don't know what you take on, but because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio, Scorpio governs your second house of earned income. When Pluto changes signs, that house is going to change too. And so this is your earned income house, and the way you make your money as a lawyer is going to be slightly different. Um, and so, yeah, it's time. I'm sure you've probably, because this energy has been percolating since Pluto hit that 25th degree in 2020, you've been thinking about it since then. Like, okay, I'm going to have to do something different. What am I going to do? How am I going to do it? What's it going to look like? This is really asking you to start to lean into some of those intuitions or daydreams that you've had about what's possible for you, because it's time. You're ready. And the universe is really it's like starting to open the pathway for you to start to do this, make money in some new ways. Do I make money for different people? You might. You're gonna have to look at what is it that I'm really called for at this time. I mean, I certainly see with the mid having Cancer, something about families and emotions, certain maybe about custody, children, it could even be about like law and immigration and where people live or real estate. Cancer governs all of those types of legal stuff, all around families and home and where you live and nationality and repatriation and citizenship. All of that is Cancer. Um, Real estate, architecture, all that is Cancerian related. Families, so you could make money in a different way, like pursuing a different avenue within the law. You could join a different kind of firm that has a different kind of speciality. You could, teams are also Cancer, like sports teams, athletic teams. You're a corporate buy sell tax expert. Yeah, I can see why at this point with Pluto moving the way it has, you're done. Um, so yeah, I would start to look into what's going to be more fulfilling for you next. As Pluto begins to really land in Aquarius, so start to get more ideas about it. Um, I see the change here, but I do also know that you get some choice around what that change is going to look like for you, Elaine. And that's a beautiful thing that the divine is not forcing you, shoving you into a box and into a corner, but instead is giving you some options and opportunities to figure out, well, what's going to be fulfilling for you in terms of being of service. So that you can take this next step in a way that is going to not only open doors for you career wise, but also open spiritually for you emotionally and spiritually, open you up mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Um, okay. I am not going back to my old firm from 12 years ago. Unless you want to. You can if you want, but this looks more like a moving forward than a going back, to me. But that firm may be so different now. And because this looks like whenever Pluto goes into Aquarius, it's like something different, something new. It's not about going back to something old. So that firm is very different in some new ways, right? I would say that might make sense. If they're like a different kind of firm than they were 12 years ago, I'd say, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But if you were to go back and it's the same firm, only bigger, I would suspect the same level of sensing something's off, something's amiss, I need to change something here. That same level of sensing that is what you would sense again. It wouldn't go away because you're meant to evolve into something new, something different, quantum leap into the next. So yeah, that's how I see this. It's a good time for change, Ylang. And like I said to somebody else earlier on this live stream, because Pluto moves so slow, I think it was Shiaria I was talking to. Pluto moves so slow. It doesn't, kind of yank you out of your house and shove you into a new job. It allows you time and space to process it. Um, so it'll give you that opportunity to really look for yourself like, okay, what makes sense based on who I am and how I've grown. Ling says old firm is not different, it's more intense. Yeah. I mean, then I guess I would ask you, if your current firm were to just stay the same but get more intense, would you be satisfied? Would that work for you? If your current firm were to just get more intense, would you be fulfilled? I mean, I think you have your answer here that there's something new calling to you. It's just a matter of leaning in and refining it for yourself, um, and not being afraid of that change. All right, Elaine? Like I said, it does look like since about 2020, some ideas should have been crossing your mind about what's possible. And through those ideas, you would have gotten to a place of, just some clarity, like, okay, I could do that, but it would take this, it would take that, I'd have to do this. You are going to be asked to do those things so that you can do the new thing. Okay. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. I love you guys. Thanks for letting me read for you. All right. So I think I'm going to stay on for about the next 15 or so minutes. And if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to read for you. Um, it is slow moving adjustments for all of us. It is. But a new thing. That's right. Definitely something new is what it looks like. So if you want to get on the list, last call. I'm going to wrap up here in about another 15 minutes. The link for the PayPal is pinned right up here. It's 33.33 USD to jump on. I'd be happy to read for you. And you would be next, is what I was trying to say. Okay. Are there any other collective energy questions? Either about the Twin Flame Collective, Divine Counterpart Collective? You have any channeled questions you'd like me to answer? You guys are my favorite. Thank you all for letting me read for you and for being subscribers of my channel. It's been such an honor to be able to, just hang out with you, to grow with you, for the way you have, the videos you've liked, the videos you've chose to comment under, the people that you've shared me with and said, oh, I know this girl on YouTube. She does these readings. You might like it. Wow, I really, really thank you. I am so grateful that I've gotten to do this with you, that I've gotten to use my gifts in this way, that there's an audience of people who want to hear from me. It means a lot to me and it's really special. So thank you. That slow moving adjustment thing is so real. So for me, Scorpio governs my 11th house. Um, and so this is where all the friends live and all the dreams are. And it has just been such a slow process of like shedding certain friendships that I've outgrown. Um, but and then spending a lot of time alone because I just don't feel like I fit, knowing that newness is coming, but it's just not here yet. Um, Recognizing that certain things that I used to want, I just don't want anymore. And they were dreams that never got fulfilled. This Scorpio movement is a process as Pluto its ruling planet jumps into a new sign and reconfigures our Scorpio governed house. It's a process. All right. Well, if there are no other takers, then I am inclined to stop here, um, and let you all go enjoy your New Year's night. Thank you all for being here with me. Happy New Year. And yeah, I'll see you at the next lunar update. Thank you all for hanging out. Love you guys. Take great care and bye for now.